ANC.
He's not even going to dart him. So PC doesn't know he's got spotted out. That's
Wow.
gonna be Visa's opening.
What util do they have on this low buy? One barrel, spotted, stun, not in place. Oh, in the lineup. This is surely an impossible task. They're just sticking the spike, face off. So many players! 3v4, their position's known. Lenny with a stand kill. Vera around the corner. Oh, an over-eager Lenny gets baited straight in, but Tim's with 3 kills just like that. With a crucial one, but there's 10 seconds left. They need to get the kills. They need to get into the site, but it's no access where you splash, just shuts it all down. And he's trying as much as he can, calls in for assistance from Reverie, but they're being blindsided around the corner. Mark out a single kill. Shinsei with the rifle in tow. He has to 1v3 to give his team a chance. And the second, and the last, Shinsei. Beautiful entry from PUBG as the rest of the team of DSG flood from the back of the PUBG just holds down.
And now they're fighting for their lives up in main. Vehera's finding so much juicy with the placement, with the spam.
Waiting for the screen to drop. Divine. Angle held. First. Fix it in a second.
Divine!
Divine with a nice trade there, but Markel's in the side. Markel's in his cage. He swings out. Backline's turn. They're jumping around on the side. He gets 3 kills, and just like that.
Quick on that. Jansen for 2, 3, and fast. The banana man strikes again. Remember, slowly moving up here. It was going to be Markel with that first contact. So the way hot finds no one. They swing out together. Markel sprays. Insane. 4 in fact. Peeks all around, smokes as well. And Nakia quickly finds out Vixie. The perfect setup. The perfect play from Nakia as well. And he can just walk onto the site. Two teams, a phenomenal run. Alas, only 1 ticket to Tokyo for Ascensions 2024. This is the MYSG Challengers, VALORANT Challengers 2024. I'm Tashmin alongside Universe, your casters for today, and it's going to be a very exciting one. We have a team for the first time in 3 years in Malaysia, making it here to the grand finals, and a team who just invested in this region, finally making it to the end.
Yeah, it has been quite the journey for both these teams. 2 separate storylines here, but they have emerged to the final together now, and we are going to find out who is going to be this region's representative in Japan Ascension 2024. It's going to be quite the matchup today, because we did see a best of 5 just yesterday where RDA edged out to come into this grand final by a really, really long shot of a lot of hard work being put in here, but we cannot discount who they're going up against. These guys have come here with their own, absolute top-of-the-line performance after beating Elevate 2-0 in that, 2-1 in that upper bracket semifinal, and they have got some of their players at the top of this, region as well. So I'm really excited, and I'm hoping to see some great VALORANT today.
Yeah, for now, before we get into that, let's have a look at the format of how this tournament has been run.
Welcome back to VCT Malaysia Singapore Challengers. As we come halfway into 2024, the competition rapidly heats up as we dive into its second split. Split 2 consists of 3 stages: the promo relegation, the group stage, and the playoffs for the Challenger Ascension. We began with the promo relegation, where the top 6 premier teams and the bottom 2 teams from our last Split 1 group stage battled through an elimination bracket to fight for their spot at the group stage. Only the top 2 teams from the relegation bracket will proceed to the next challenge, the group stage. At the group stage, the top 2 teams from the relegation bracket battled it out with the 6 teams from our Split 1 playoffs. To make it out, all 8 teams will face off in a grueling gauntlet of best of 3 matches, with each victory awarding the victor with points. The more points, the higher their placements. And only the top 6 teams with the highest placements will then be propelled into the final gauntlet of Split 2, the playoffs. When the playoffs commence, the top 6 teams will move on to the double elimination bracket. The top 4 teams from the group stage will be fighting for their spot in the upper final. The victor of the upper final will be launched straight into their spot in the grand final. The second half of playoffs pitted the losers from the upper bracket against the bottom 2 teams of the group stage, all equally fired up to prove themselves worthy of climbing the ladder into the lower semi. The victor of the lower semi will meet the losing team of the upper final in the lower final. It's a duel that will determine who will make it to the grand finals. Now, we approach the grand finals, where champions are made. In a best of 5, the final 2 remaining teams compete in the final showdown to claim the crown as the champion of Split 2. The crown champion advances ever more towards the VALORANT Challengers Ascension Tournament. And that's all for this video. Have an amazing day, and be sure to follow us on VALORANT Esports MYSG's Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to catch the latest updates.
And there we go, the format that the players have been playing here in Split 2. Again, reminding everyone what's at stake here. A ticket to Tokyo for Ascension 2024, where the winner will be able to ascend to VCT Pacific next year. Now, today has been a very interesting one. Not today, but throughout the entirety of Split 2 has been a very interesting one. Split 1, the winners, Orglas, who have been picked up by Elevate, has been eliminated yesterday. We saw a full best of 5 over time, and as Universe said, it was a very, very close match.
Yeah, I mean, it really did take us to the distance in the way that we didn't expect. I really thought after that 4th map of Sunset, while we were, just about to begin, I thought, you know what, maybe Elevate actually take this, 3-1. I really thought they were going to be able to get it done. But no, RDA made a great comeback to take it all back and take it Abyss and have a great fight put up there as well. But let's look forward to what we have today, because the grand final is the final step here, and there's so much at stake. And look at the journey that these 2 teams have taken to get here. DSG with the ultimate upper bracket run, as they've beaten some of the best of the region. They've beaten the previous winners of this split as well to make it all the way here. And RDA, well, they're the kings of the lower bracket, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about lower bracket runs, usually, the story has always been the lower bracket run, making it to grand finals, and then finally winning it in the end. Not sure what about the lower bracket is there. Perhaps it's momentum, perhaps it's more matches, I can't tell. But for these guys coming in, as you said before, the ultimate upper bracket, not dropping a single one here in playoffs. And what's the most interesting part is that for DSG, they've really come into this, I would say, split, bringing in some of the best firepower and the best players into their team. It felt like Split 1 was sort of like a trial run for them to understand what they needed and what they were weak at. And Split 2, they seem to have fixed everything that went wrong for the team.
Yeah, and I really think that there is one, little thing that keeps popping up in my mind, and that's about the fact that RDA have played a lot more Valorant than DSG currently have, right? If you look at the number of rounds being played by these players, which I just checked right before the game, RDA have played almost double the rounds of Valorant in their run from the promotion relegation all the way till here. They've played close to over 900 rounds of Valorant in this split alone, and that's like over a double actually, because I think DSG are sitting around 426.
Oh yeah, that's
not to
double.
discredit both. Yeah, both of them have got their own runs, right? Everybody's got their own story to tell. And DSG have taken that story in a more dominant fashion by being able to keep themselves alive. That's why they are in this final. They've been pretty comfortable and they've enjoyed their upper bracket run. This is that first final that they were all hoping for a last split. But let's have a look at what this team has gone through to get here. Ladies and gentlemen, here's DSG.
And the rest of the players scrambling on the heavens. 3v4, their position's known. Lenny with a stand kill. Vera around the corner. Even if Elevate win these last 2 rounds, which I think is a necessity, it's still going to be hard for them. What a shot coming in from Vera.
They managed to swing out. He has to flick so back hard, and he does. He grabs
my
2,
God.
shows up, goes out, and he gets the 3rd as well. He's completely blind.
And now they're fighting for their lives up in main. Vehera's finding so much juicy with the play, just with the spam. They know he is there. This player is going to be popped out as well as the rest of the teammates
Wow.
moving their way in. Oh, Smokes though, going to block so much vision.
Like sharks in the water, they're circling around this B side.
Oh my God, Wayne!
Drops the one way, beautifully done by Wade. They just flood into the side. They have nothing to see.
Suna, they are slowly encompassing the entirety of the space here. There's a little bit of a flank coming in from Grumble. Oh my God, the 3rd flank is so good. Yes, stop.
Wait.
Use, but it's not gonna happen.
Siren 1v4. This is surely an impossible task. They're just sticking the spike face off. So many players! Oh my lord! Grumble, what can you muster together with Siren? First one's found, second and the third, they just fall like flies. Siren with 3.
Well, that was quite the show reel for these guys. DSG, absolutely amazing bunch of players here, or almost like basically a super team, you could call it. A team that's gone through changes across both the splits. You know, they've picked up players, they've had to drop out a couple of them. They've tried to find their perfect formula, and they've found it. And not one of these players has shown that, you know, they're the weak link. Everybody, every single one in this team has showcased the fact that they deserve to be in the spot that they are in the grand final. And absolutely amazing when it comes to statistics as well, because every one of these guys, led by Styron, has been at the top of the statistical table across the entire split. 4 out of 5 of these players are in the top 5 players in this region for Split 2, which is an excellent, you know, background to keep, especially when you're in the grand final.
Yeah, when you look at these guys, I mean, this is the first time this name roster has made it to the grand finals, made it to 3rd last split. They had actually changed up their roster. I think 3 of the players are new, as you mentioned. Styron, who previously played in Lays, now with a new duelist, Vera, who was in Orglis, previously known as, now known as Elevate, alongside Grumble. So, as I said before, split 1 was just a trial period for them, trying to understand what it is about this team that makes it tick, and understanding what weaknesses and how to make it work. And this is exactly what they have done. And what makes it look very interesting about this particular team is that they like playing the map in a way that it manipulates the map, it forces enemy rotations, it's more decisive when it comes to across the board on how exactly they want to explode onto site, how they want to play each take, and how they want to come into each play. And it's a lot faster at the decision making compared to the other teams that we've seen in this tournament thus far. And what makes it really more interesting is the fact that they really enabled Juicy. Last split, Juicy felt a little bit less, I would say, less impactful compared to this season. But with this new roster, they seem to have set it up perfectly for him to make the best and biggest impact plays you can see for this guys. And as we know, it's a little bit scary for these players. They want to give the best for their boss, who is currently watch partying today. And also we know that if they don't do well, you're gonna hear you're fired from this guys himself. But other than that, enough about DSG, because we also have another interesting story to tell about Rev Drift Arena. This is the first time in 3 years a Malaysian team has made it here to the grand finals. Everyone is celebrating, so let's see what they have got. Markel forced to look away because of that flash. They didn't check the corner. Finally found in the end. Markel good for 2. And again, this is a tale as old as time. Remember, slowly moving up here. It's going to be Markel with that first contact. So the way Hot finds no one. They swing up together. Markel sprays! Insane! 4 in fact!
2v4 situation. Doctor and Sube so much on their shoulders to try to hold here.
Returning flick is not going to be there, so 1-1 for now. Sube is doing
Sube.
everything to try and hold it. There's the rocket, it's still alive. Oh my dear lord.
Wait.
So many players in this market position. That's a triple kill. Make another fourth for the Doctor.
Where the last two many players are going to be coming from? The Doctor goes in hand. A wide from Kenji. That is questionable.
Jansen, he's left alone here. He has to be very, very sporadic in this fight. If Fuse is going through, he has to hit the shot. They line up.
Fixing quick on that. Jansen for 2,
Oh my
3,
God.
and fast. The Banana Man strikes again. Can't capitalize. Fixie so quick on the reposition. The aggression, the firepower from this young blood is there.
Oh my God.
Sube's aggression is
Wow.
here. RDA takes another one. Finds Sube on the top side there. Moves out of the way. Will be completely stunned up and Fixie capitalized on that with 3.
Oh my God.
Played so well with Jansen. A celebration to be called across the nation of Malaysia. First Malaysian team to make it here in 3 years. And coincidentally, the previous roster to have made it here 3 years ago was called Kingsman, where it was also led by the Doctor, which is also a very, very funny coincidence if you think about it. Now, when you talk about this team, this team, what makes it tick, what makes it so interesting is that it consists of some of the most longest standing IGLs here in the history of MYSG. I'm talking about Mark L, the Doctor, as well as Sube, and also the story of Jansen, the Banana Man as we call him here, who previously played for quite some time in Blitz Esports. We saw flashes of him in that team, but in this one, coming into RDA, he nearly did not continue in this team because he wanted to just continue studying and just drop out of the scene entirely. Glad he stuck around though, because his clutch potential is insane. He's been dropping multi-frags upon multi-frags. When push comes to shove, you can rely on this player to bring you to the distance. On top of that, a debut stage for Fixie, the newest duelist for this team. Fixie previously did play in Homeboys, didn't manage to make it to the big stages, and we were all confused as to where this gem of a player has been, because apparently he has been a demon in ranked for quite some time now.
Yeah, I believe that this team has a really good, I would say from a chemistry standpoint, they've got something really, tackled on. They've made sure that they find the groove that they've looked for in probably, their previous set of, matches, I would say, of playing. But the one thing that I think that really clicked for them in the last couple of games has been the fact that they don't give up no matter what the scoreline is. It's match point on the other side. Doesn't matter. We're not seeing that number 12. We're just seeing what number we've got. We're going to get it to 13 and more if need be. And that's particularly the reason why we've seen so many, tail-ended games toward 13-11, 14-16, the overtimes, which I'm pretty sure we can expect today as well. But these guys have been really, really good at, being able to understand the rhythm of their games. They're understanding how the opponent plays. They understand how they're playing, and they've been at the top of their form, to be honest, especially after coming on the win against Elevate, where they finished off Abyss 13-3. Now, that is a statement victory to give you confidence going into a grand final, showing that you can dominate when you need to. But speaking of Abyss, there's maps that we need to be seen, and let's have a look at what the veto is, because I'm really excited to find out where exactly are we going to be end up. First, it's going to be Ascent. All right.
I mean, Ascent's very interesting to watch if you look at these teams. Now, when you talk about Ascent for this particular roster, I'm talking here about DSG and RDA. They have played together before. This is not the first time coming toe-to-toe with one another. The last time they played, it was RDA that came up on top. Haven and Icebox were the two maps that RDA managed to take away from DSG. So I'm a true believer that teams that makes the most mistakes first will be able to come up on top. Let's see what DSG has managed to learn from that. Now, coming into this one, we have Ascent, Icebox, Lotus, Bind, and Abyss, as you mentioned. Now, RDA has played Ascent 3 times, and this is definitely not one of their best maps. They had lost, out of the 3 games, they had lost twice in the split. So it's actually something very scary compared to DSG, who have played this map in officials 12 times and won every single Ascent in split 2.
Yeah, there is one thing that I really want to talk about, is the fact that DSG were really, really I'm pretty sure they're fortunate to have the fact that they've got 2 bans in their pocket. They're the ones who came from the upper bracket. And that's really helped them a lot. You know why? Because that Sunset ban has been there from time and eternity. They've banned that map across the entire split. Every group stage game, I think probably every single game. I'm not sure if it's all of them, but I'm pretty sure in 90% of the games, they've banned Sunset. And RDA were looking pretty good on Sunset yesterday.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say that.
Yeah, so that is a really, good advantage for them to have in their pocket. That's going to throw them a little bit more, propel them towards that ticket for Ascension. And with the second ban, of course, they went for Haven, which was a little bit, interesting for me because, of course, it's the new map that's come in and plays a split, of course.
Right.
And I was expecting maybe for them to ban Abyss because they've not
same.
played it so far.
Oh no, DSG did play Abyss. It was literally in a few days ago. They went 2-2 with
forgive me,
Elevate.
not
yeah.
Abyss. Yeah, my bad. I was talking about Bind.
Bind.
They've not
Yeah.
played Bind, my bad.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
looking at Abyss and I said Abyss, forgive me.
That's okay. But anyways, when you talk about Abyss is a very interesting one. Both teams only playing that map once this entire split. I mean, granted, it only just came into the map pool only I think a week or 2 ago. And I honestly was not expecting teams to be playing this map very soon. But then again, we saw it already played in VCT Pacific. I'm not surprised that it's already out here. And it's always been a floater map, in my opinion. It's always been a decision map. Kind of like, I think both teams sort of hoping that one of them would be banning it off. But let's have a look at this guy's map pools and talk a little bit more about this map, Vito. Now, for this guys, we talked about just now, 100% win rate, 5-0 record this split. This is one of their most dominant maps. And I mean, Ascent is a map that has been played from the beginning of time. It hasn't really gone through a lot of changes. Almost every team has already pretty much experienced this map. Now, what makes it really, really scary on Ascent is because it's such a defender-sided map that you really have to work on your attack side to be able to do it well. And DSG has been really great at doing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna, feel comfortable coming into this, especially with the fact that, Ascent has been 100% win record. They're gonna have no problem going into it whatsoever. But then the game immediately after is what I am slightly
Icebox?
looking forward to. Yeah, because they've not been the best at Icebox. Clearly, you can see it's the one, little red dot amongst a bunch of greens here.
Yeah.
Because that's the only place where they've got less than 50% of a win rate.
And to be fair, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but I wanted to say that the last time DSG played this map was all the way in last split. It has been quite some time DSG has played on this map. So there is a question mark there for us. What have they learned? Have they been prepping for this? Because clearly RDA, they have been picking this map quite a lot and they have been having quite some success on this one.
I mean, I'm going to say that maybe they come up with a couple of changes on Icebox, to try and turn things differently because Icebox yesterday, of course, was another, pretty tiresome match for RDA. They did have a pretty stretched out, fight against Elevate, but it did end up in their, bag at the end. And I'm quite sure that it was studied by DSG how they can turn things around.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know that Icebox hasn't been really their best map, but RDA are pretty decent on it. And let's have a look at RDA. Icebox is the only thing. Now, we've got others to look at. Let's see where else they're going to be pretty good at. And they've got, of course, Bind in the mix, which is pretty much similar to what exactly DSG have got. Sunset was one of their better games, which, of course, now is not going to be played.
Yeah.
But Ascent, where we're going to be starting off, has been 0-1 for them.
Yeah, Sunset, I mean, there's... Oh, I was talking about it again? Ascent? Sunset? I didn't catch you.
Ascent,
right, sorry.
0-1.
Yeah, Ascent. Now, Ascent, RDA, again, as I said before, they've only won once on that map. It is going to be a matter of just questioning what they can bring to the table on this one. And I think for Bind as well, I think RDA started to play this map 5 times, I believe, the same time as DSG, 5 times. And both these teams on Bind is a very interesting one. I think it's a similar style when it comes to their scoring and how they end these games. Both teams, either their win or their loss, have been really, really close. It's either 13-11s, it's been overtimes. But at the end of the day, I think when you look more toward the side of RDA, it's been a lot more toward the idea of getting these overtimes, a lot more of winning these thrifties. It's a little bit of these too close for comfort moments that makes you really wonder, if RDA can really be able to close these games and decisively be able to win these rounds. As opposed to DSG, I feel like when we watch their games, a lot more decisive, a lot more faster, a lot more proactive in how exactly they want to start these games compared to RDA, who are more reactive, waiting for information, forcing the enemy to play in their tempo.
Yeah, there have been times where I've seen RDA be a little bit more, wanting to force out information, which they did yesterday a couple of times as well, especially on Abyss. That mid-control from them was absolutely ecstatic. And if at all, of course, we go to that final map, it's going to be two teams that have just come off of fresh wins on that map, right? So it's going to be really, really great to watch. But ladies and gentlemen, we've got Ascent coming up, the grand finals, first map, and here's the agent select for both these teams. Pretty much what we would expect. Juicy on the ISO is the one little juicy pick that we've got, of course. But it's standard Ascent comp across, no killjoys. Both teams opting for that Cypher. Both Markel and Grumble have been really good on their roles. Especially, I'm really excited, first of all, to watch Grumble once again play, because this kid has been almost nonsensical in the way that he's been playing. One of the top KD ratios across the entire, split as well. And he's just as good with a Cypher as anybody would be with a Duelist, on the right day.
Yeah, he's been very flexible running with the Sentinel and the Controller. Honestly, when you look at this player, you wonder, wow, this kid was a Duelist and he just transitioned into these roles, and it suits them very, very well. Now, coming into this comp, we have a standard comp for RDA. I'm really liking the creativity coming in from this guys. The last time we saw Juicy on that ISO, it was incredible. It was crazy how he's just really able to just take full control of that shield. And in fact, he doesn't really go into these one-on-ones. Yes, he has, but when in a team fight situations, he's able to go in first, sort of bait the shield to allow his teammates to just really swing out and grab some multiple frags. So that's the kind of duelist or entry that you want to see playing with you. The question now is whether or not RDA would know how to deal with not only someone as gargantuan as the player that can carry these shields properly, but also someone who can just tap hits as much as he wanted to. This is the second time that Juicy has found himself here in the grand finals, trying again to make it to Ascension, to give himself a back-to-back Ascension title. But whether or not that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time where you need to put your eyes on the screen. The first map of this best of 5 to see who makes it to Tokyo.
Well, this is it. DSG starting on the attack. Gonna take a little bit of an approach towards B and mid, it seems, but that's a fake. All being sent, a shock dart to just make sure the shield was almost destroyed there, but Sube, he's got an inkling about the fact that they're rocking in here. Just goes back instead of throwing in the recon. And Juicy, his shield actually perpetrates away. Let's get tagged up out. They go into the B side. Mark has already been taken control of as DSG enter for the first fight.
Jansen picking off Rumble here. That's massive. Taking out that Sentinel means that they have full access to the site. Two teams holding on Boathouse. They're going to go down, and so does Fixie. Sube as well. Start off real good for RDA, but one by one, the members of RDA not able to hold. DSG coming up on top. The Doctor, final man standing, almost jumps through, finds two inside of the smokes. Possibly a jump scare for the Doc. Big smiles from Juicy over the other end.
Really interesting, maneuver there from DSG. Once again, committing one person towards Market. He was left alone to Vera, and they had that one lurk onto A short, which is both taken out, by the way. Fixie and Jansen started off the round really well. The read from RDA was really good, but the problem was that they just couldn't handle the flood-in from the remaining DSG players onto that B side. Styron and Juicy, really good work in taking off picks together, making sure that the fights were not isolated. That gives them a clean pistol.
Juicy casually just walks up. He understands that he can really just bait his shield, sustain some damage, and just get away scot-free if he wants to. Markel holding down logs. The question is whether or not they will check him out. And this is important. This particular area has just been a major area where so many multi-frags have been happening, but no contact happening yet. Now they do. Smokes coming down. Mark L quickly reacts. Unfortunately, he's stuck in the corner like a rat. Supe good for two, though.
Spike down.
Good contact play, reacting off his teammate. But DSG, they're okay to take up a space. Vera all the way, far away into lane with that Marshall. Gonna find Fixie. Shoot him straight in the face. Doctor with just a classic. Rumble goes down. Flashed out. Vera waiting, biding time. Juicy so low. Still, a lot of utility to play with. Doctor just about finding the right time to get onto the site itself. 2-on-3. Rev Drift Arena once again showing us how these ecos work. Always making it and turning it into their favor. Jensen trying to see a peek. Jiggling through, his teammates are there. The recon comes out, scans no one unfortunately. But the question is, how are they going to burst onto the site? Upgrades available, at least for the Doctor. Manages to pick up a Spectre. Can see the uppercut thrown down, but not reacting off it, not swinging, but time, not on their side. Smokes isolating one area. Vera goes down. Vera gets 2, in fact 3. But the Doctor seals the deal. And once again, RDA showing us how these ecos work and converts it to a win.
And that plague that they carry on with them, RDA, the way that they just work these pistols, it was all started by Sube getting the first 2 with that Ghost. He just spots 2, just taps them out of existence almost. I wish you could see that POV, but he was so good. He finds a 3rd on site as well. Juicy has no chance of surviving that. Vera did good to get a couple there, but there was nothing more he could do. DSG have invested a little bit more into this. Once again, it's going to be Vera on the Vandal, and they've got Styron on the Guardian this time to try and maybe dish out some extra damage, but it's going to be RDA with the advantage going into this round. First mid peek, Fixie does take out the shield, but nothing more than that.
Tap is still there, so can go for it once again. Finds no one. A little bit more of a passive play, but it works out! Vera catching Fixie in the midst of that cross. Smokes off mid allows them to just play a little bit more aggressive if they want to. Bit more space to work with. Does not know that Sube is there, but Vera, quick reaction time. Potentially saving the round. Surviving for a little while longer. Marking Market. Markel is there. Markel for 1. Quick reposition. Moves back onto the site. Don't have to play it too aggressively. And playing it very, very slowly. Still, tall mountain to climb, at least. The man deficit for RDA. Doctor coming in, playing those angles quietly and slowly over onto defense side. And DSG looks to pivot straight into tree, while Grumble looking to go for a flank, perhaps.
They've slowed things down and they're going back towards A. The Spike is traveling and they've still got weapons to work with. Grumble still got a Vandal, but there's one single tripwire that's keeping them at bay for the moment, and that's exactly why they're comfortable playing on that A-short double stack here. Jensen might get caught off guard here, needs to be careful. The knife is still 10 seconds away, and Wayne's gonna get in. The tripwire is broken, and they have the A side at least for the plant.
Right clicks into the smoke, finds no one. Wayne's forced to push out of the way. Breaking the door. Heaven side, Doctor trying to find the right opportune time to just drop all of the smokes, all of the flashes. Jensen. Wayne taken down. Spots one out. Grumble. Sharp for that angle. Oh my, Grumble, they line up for him! A thrifty! Back to back for both these teams!
It'll be hard.
What is happening?
But I'll try.
Oh, the hero Vandal sings the tunes of death once again, but this time in the hands of Grumble. And this is the guy I've been waiting to watch here, and he delivers in the 3rd round itself. They line up for him, basically, but it was such a good maneuver as well. They realized that these guys are not going to be playing in the most open of sites. They're going to play a little bit more towards the retake positions. Hence, A-short was the place that they were expecting them to be. The tripwire broken, they got the A site, made sure that they waited for somebody to push in, close the door, and that's when they started their maneuver of getting the plant, and then Grumble did the rest. A beautiful round as they start off once again, this time with a lot more firepower going in towards A-short.
With the blade storm already, the Doctor punish for going a little bit too aggressive, taking up too much space. Waits for his team, Juicy, finding some value over the mid side. Full control of the area, can pivot to B if they choose to, but it's gonna be A that will be the point of contention. Tree pushing in already. Grumble gonna find Sube all alone on his own lonesome.
One enemy
2 areas come through. It's gonna be so hard for the other members of RDA to do much, as Markel also gonna follow suit, joining his teammates as they go and try again next round.
Will they try the same old tricks?
Yeah, pretty straightforward, simple round. Vera getting in the advantage, gets the 1 pick on in towards A short, walks straight in, and he finds so much control onto A heaven. And the last player that was left on the side was forced onto A main. That was taken care of by Wayne as well. That's going to be 3-1 for DSG. Pretty decent start for them. A couple of ultimates built up as well. They've got the kill contract on Juicy, which means that there is a possibility of a flush-in on towards that mid-region. But look at the attention that RDA are putting. They've got a front, it seems, here. Fixie keen on the fight. Whoopi flashed away, reconned away for that matter. A knife goes in as well, and RDA's mid maneuvers have been stopped in the tracks.
Also, look at where Markel has positioned himself all the way off site. He's understanding that if he gets taken up by that kill contract, B side completely vulnerable. So it's gonna be a Jansen is gonna be playing that first contact. He's gonna try and set up for that flash. But over on this side, Wayne has his eyes over on A main in case anyone is going in for that push. A little bit more passive this time on the defensive side for RDA. And it keeps them a little bit more antsy. Slowly, everyone's just leaving the site, moving toward A. And this is the map manipulation we were talking about from DSG.
Styron just clears out, maybe sends a fake, but look at that. They're not afraid of this. RDA are actually reading this well. They've got a 5-stack on the A side, but this all might just be a fake overall, it seems. The Spike's traveling towards B. They've got the camera set up there from Markel, but that's not going to help them at all.
30 seconds
This
left.
is quite the gamble, and they want to play a complete retake on that B side, which I'm not quite sure is going to work out for them, but I'm pretty sure they wanted to avoid that kill contract. That's exactly why they kind of play together to make sure that even if the kill contract does come through, they've got the trades. Nobody can actually flush into the side. That's actually a good decision from RDA, but now it's a 5v5 retake for them coming in.
Finds the
The doctor, he's gone.
Inside the kill contract, wants to try and see if he can play this very well. Juicy does. Plant in the nick of time. Markel and Juicy trade one out for each other. Telebot just holding, play that post plant well. Vera walking up here with that op. No fear at all, but Markel that wins in the end. The one-way smoke not working out in his favor. Sube with the Aldro and spots on every single member of DSG. Wayne somehow wins that. A tap from the Styron himself. The IGL, the fragging IGL, in fact, as Wayne sealed it off. And DSG take another round.
That was the real time, that was the real time vandalification of pew pew. That's exactly what he did.
So
That was literally just tap. What a shot from Styron. And Wayne as well, keeping himself alive there in that smoke, in that one way. I was really sure that he was gonna get taken out by the Sova.
Yeah.
I thought that Sube had him, but Wayne ready for that swing out. And even though he probably had no proper vision, was good for the kill. DSG, strong start here in Ascent as they once again look towards that A side. Once again, their attention is now drawn to make sure that that A side feels as uncomfortable as possible.
One of the biggest problems for RDA right now is trying to understand how they can play off each other and together. There have been so many times that DSG has been able to do fake after fake, catch so much of the attention over our mid side, over on the other side, forces them to rotate, giving them the site for free. Rather not for free, or maybe find the weaker side.
Here.
Now RDA, look at how they're hovering over toward defense spawn. Trying to make sure that they're able to quickly rotate on forward. Millie Smokes playing off that info. The Al drone goes in first. GC as well as Rumble. Mid-side control on their end. Sube gonna go for one with that Hunter's Fury, but Vera of the mid-side finds two. In fact, Sube getting so much value from that Hunter's Fury. Slowly, Juicy gonna make his way up. Timing not in his side, but Sube will be the one to win this one. Unfortunately, Rumble reacts so quickly on that. Fixing a doctor, quick to band-aid the situation. Thrifty once again for Rev Thrifty Arena.
2 Thrifties in 6 rounds for this team, and those are the only 2 rounds that they won actually, so might be time to consider playing on just Sheriffs and Ghost itself, and check out the weapons maybe. Not really a good idea so far it seems, but hey, I really hope that they are able to make the operator work now. Fixie's got it in his hand, he's got the knife as well, so that's going to be the first setup of that B site, and they are expecting DSG to move this way, and they're not wrong. He's going to have help from the Cypher. Markel's going to give him a little bit of information. And he does spot out. Recon towards mid from DSG to clear out again that same region. But Sube, look at him holding the Odin in a different position from what you usually see on B main. Because every single wall on Ascent is basically paper thin.
Sube's love of his life, the Odin. But you are right. Paper thin walls all around. Again, look at how DSG has positioned themselves. Bit more pressure toward tree and mid. And one lurker all the way onto B main. They can quickly just move out of the way. They want to. Doctor forced to teleport away. His position has been compromised, and Vera was there. there. Just quickly trade off his teammate if need be. That flash working so well in their favor, and 1 by 1. DSG dwindling down the numbers of RDA. Fixie last man standing, up in hand. Playing a retake with an op.
Spike planted.
Almost impossible if you think about it. And a 1v4 as well. Perhaps the save might be the call here. Perhaps he can go for those pickoffs and exit frag, perhaps.
He might just be Hardy or Grumble. Look at the position he's sitting in. He's just waiting here. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's going to hear him in second, or he's going to turn around. Is he not? Oh, never mind. Fixie's not going to go in there himself.
God.
And they
Grumble
trade
turns around.
positions.
They just...
Nah, he's not going to turn around.
Shoulder to
They just trade
shoulder.
positions.
Oh, man. Fixie, the call for the save is here. Blades in hand. DSG, you really got to give it to them. How much they've adapted and changed up the way they play every time they lose a round. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, DSG will lose Wayne, but that's not going to be too much of a problem. 5 on the board, that's going to give them so much comfort going into this last couple of rounds in this first half. And excuse me, I'm not really sure when RDA will be choosing to pick out a timeout for themselves, because I really think they need one. They need to change the plan here because it's not working. They're not able to find the most opportunistic reads. Their reads have not been that great so far, except for on their eco rounds, because that's the only time they're able to actually take these aim fights, which allow them to win it. But the minute it comes to those Vandals and Phantoms, they're somehow depending on more utility than the gunfight itself. So that's a little concerning for me, because it seems like they're more confident on their pistols than they are on their, rifles.
Here. That is timing. That is timing. They're aware that Vera is on mid with that op, so question is how many is on mid? Majority of them, look at how much pressure they're applying here. Vera, so free to walk up pizza, walk up market if they want to. A lot more attention given in towards site itself. Fixie, close. The hero style play.
Oh my god.
Crosses by Vera's crosshair, but he did not react. And Fixie with the updraft punishes him for holding on that area too long. Unlucky. Sube found all alone. Aldron in hand, moves out of the way. So low right now. Rumble, his position compromised, and with that uppercut, they get him in the end. Caging off the outer area. But Fixie, the reposition makes him so hard to be taken out. He's been such a major problem for Elevate yesterday. He's starting to do so against DSG here. Doctor, his inner position will be able to give him a little bit of value. Unfortunately, not getting a pickoff. Doctor good for 1. Can he go for 2? Had to go for Fixie on the top side. We've seen this 1v1 by Doctor, and he wins it.
It is done.
The IGL.
The fact that he was allowed to survive there for that long with an operator is not right. He should be pressured. Styron did really well, honestly. He got 2, but his team was still a little bit away. They're just struggling to get this kill down. Styron did so well, but Grumble, he was still looking on towards heaven to make sure that he can cover up for his IGL. Unfortunately for him, the Doctor was ready for both of them. He took care of what needed to be done, and the main thing was keeping himself alive. That was all they needed. Doctor, such meticulous precision with that up and movement, but Fixie, I can't say the same about him.
This time around, a little bit more aggression coming in from DSG. The biggest problem we've seen right now, we talked about the manipulation. We talked about how they're able to just force enemy rotations.
Here.
But I don't think we touched upon how aggressively they can play, and that exactly is what they did. Punishes Fixie for taking up that space. Wayne, preparing to put the setup for them to just completely burst on the site itself. Vera putting a little bit of pre-fire, some pressure onto Door. Kill contract gonna bring Sube into the realm once again. Quickly, Juicy will be the one to come out of this alive with that advantage. Jansen trades out, finds Wayne. Still holding on behind Dice, excuse me. As the sprays come through, the flashes as well, giving a lot of value, but Styron, the step up is here. The IGL on the other hand also wanting to prove himself. Doctor once again finds himself all alone with that op. An op 1v3 retake might be hard. Switches up to that Vandal. Gonna make his way slowly but surely onto Heaven's side. The window will give a little bit of information where he's gonna be appearing from. But look at the high-low hold. One more all the way on main. And the Doctor stands no chance.
Yeah, that's gonna be a round that I didn't really expect DSU to take it their way. But the one thing that I was, excited about was the fact that the kill contract went in at the right time, but nobody was really following it up on A main. They waited until Juicy was able to actually find the frag, and then the last second was when you saw Wayne actually teleport into that site, and then you followed that up with Styron moving in. Timeout for Disguised here. Really interesting why exactly they've taken this. Maybe they want to try and calm some nerves down. A couple of, maybe extra excitement going around the, camp. But what I wanted to talk about particularly in that last round was the fact that the kill contract, which went towards A short, I would have liked to see somebody maybe creeping up towards A short at the same time to maybe get that sandwich movement, because one player has been, basically removed from this dimension, and you've got an advantage of running it at the site as quickly as possible. I was concerned at the beginning that they won't be able to actually win the rounds, but their aim, of course, was on point. Styron, once again, getting a double, saving his team there, and they were able to put out the 6th over here. Pretty much the half has been, confirmed by them. Getting 6 on the attack on Ascent is absolutely really good, and there's space for more here. So RDA need to use this timeout for their advantage. How do they change up the gameplay? Do they go for a little bit more aggression with solidity to try and, cut off an entire side of the map? Or are they going to continue playing on the basis of information and then go on retakes again and again? Because so far, Tash, it's not worked out for them.
The only time we've seen more aggression was from Fixie. He was all alone on main. Love to see a little bit more teamwork when it comes to this aggression. Once again, gonna just burst onto the side. Fixie punishes on Markel as well. Pops the head of Juicy, taking full advantage that his shield is down. An upgrade for Fixie is here. Star Duelist, the one that's been the change maker for RDA. Grumble taking his fight over onto a tree. Jansen comes up on top, a Spectre in hand. Will claim his prize. A Vandal as Margel pops another hit as well.
Okay.
Don't know what it is about RDA and these gun deficit rounds. What on earth is going on in their minds?
Yo, 3 out of 4 rounds that they've won so far have been ecos or less than half buys. They just somehow feel more confident taking fights with their shifts. I'm gonna, if I could, I would stop the game to ask him, what the hell are you guys doing? How is this possible? But we're here. We're gonna find out at the end of it. We're hopefully gonna talk to a couple of them later on. But RDA need a solid buy round here, because DSG are gonna be able to run away with the number of times these guys lose on their rifles. A bit of an aggression shown towards that A main side. Smokes across from both teams here, as Jensen's a little bit concerned. He is left alone. If he gets a little bit antsy to push in and maybe take control, he will be in trouble. But the Doctor, he's getting pressure towards A short, and Wayne's already taken out Jensen towards main, so this is going to be trouble.
They spotted out that trip. They jumped over, and because the Doctor had all his attention onto me, and that has been the biggest problem he had. Fixie good for one, moves out of the way. Happy to take out their sentinel there.
Spike planted.
Gonna be waiting for some information here. Sube, the Aldor giving some form of information. Knows has one in hell. Ray out is here. Markel, the neural theft activated and online. A jump shot up forward. Fixie takes out a bit more space on Heaven. Sees where every member is. Reacting off it. Styron taken out by Fixie. Juicy finds one. Fixie quite low. A battle of the duelists here. Just the ring around the Rosie, but the swing out from Juicy. A bit much. Back-to-back thrifties from both teams here.
Last round in the half.
Yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on the fact that, we've got the thrifties. This game has been, the game of thrifties, and I just can't help but think, there could have been so many opportunities for somebody to, come and take up the space, we see it in Masters, right? You see MasterCard Thrifty. Yeah, there could have been 6 of them right in the first half.
So true. Shock that onto a main. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Presumably, he has to take a little bit more space. Doesn't tag anyone. The only one tagged is going to be Juicy. He's playing a little bit more aggressive. It's out of the way, Vera, as well as Grumble, making their way onto A main. Spike is on B. Gonna quickly shadow step all the way back, taking some space. Vera already in the side itself. Dash in. Jensen with that flash coming through, but that cage gives him a little bit more space. Just find some cover. Reposition themselves. Kill contract is here. And this time it's Jansen inside. Great on that one-on-one. Jansen comes up on top. For the first time, Juicy loses this kill contract. More pressure in toward A main. And DSG left rubbing and wondering where are they going? Excuse me, running over to their side. But might be a re-hit here. Not too sure as they go up to it top mid.
Information, just a touch of it. They know that they've got Styron on A main and they're still stacking up here. 3 on the A site. Styron's probably going to hold off for as long as he possibly can, but the time is running low here. 20 seconds on the clock. That recon gives out so much more of the information that this is going to be an A hit. How he goes into the Shrouded Step and in the smoke, he's trying to play around it. Wayne needs to be careful, but Styron and Couple get one each, and that's going to be another. They clear off the side, and it's suddenly a 2v2, but the time is not there. The spike will not be planted. DSG miss out on carrying the spike into the side, and they will lose out on an 8-4 half probably just because of that.
Switching sides.
5-7 half. Very decent for attacking side. RDA managing to make it up on top. Regardless of rounds, their thrifties are definitely a sight to behold. In my opinion, I think it's more of that nothing to lose mindset when you are on this deficit buys. You don't have a lot of value, don't have the right guns, play a little bit more aggressive. And I want to see more from that from RDA on their rifle rounds rather than just playing a little bit more reactive.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes
Well,
here.
RDA on the attack this time need to show that they're capable of playing just as quickly as DSG are. Big C gonna take into market, it seems. Pretty much the same approach as Farah did in the first pistol round. The only difference being there's 4 here on that B side to try and flush them out of the side with him.
Flash through into the smoke itself. He sprays. Styron was ready and anticipating that. Crosshair clean to his head. Dome broken. Still, 3 members to work with. The most impossible thing in the world. It's all about the isolating fights. It's going to be Grumble that comes up on top. Markel and the Doctor, 1 each to himself. Full control of Boathouse. They take full value of that. Wade with the right click to the head finds Doctor. Down to a 2-on-1. Markel all alone. We see him in no magic, but not today. Not now. Vera is disallowing that to happen.
Well, that's gonna be a pistol that I didn't really expect to go their way because I thought that they actually had a great amount of, control over their RDA. But the minute they went into that, the first flash from Jensen, he had Wayne blind to bits, but then Styron was playing right behind that. He was already playing that anti-flash. He knew that this is gonna happen. What a great dodge and what a great setup here. Instantly behind that came another flash. Grumble got in another, and the Doctor, while he was able to pick up 2, he wasn't expecting Wayne to come back around, play around his own smoke. A great smoke there from Wayne to help his own teammates and him to gain that pistol in their hand. Grumble getting a little aggressive. The Doctor's already been 25 tagged down though. It's not going to be too much of a problem if he wants to kind of mow down and build up some economy for himself. And Grumble, he goes for it, finds 1. And that's going to probably make RDA question this B-side attack once more.
PSG, you're really learning from the last anti-eco they had lost the previous half. Taking a more aggressive approach to punish any aggression coming in from RDA. RDA wants to keep quiet, tries to go for a re-hit once again. Sube, 2 for 1, but Grumble will be the one to take out 3 heads from RDA. It's all about their weight. Not sure if they are aware that Sube is inside the smoke itself. Markel alone on the site itself. Can't do more than that. Little bit more of a decisive win onto this round. They take the anti-eco.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the first round that RDA haven't won. That's an eco. This is the first round. That's an eco that they've not been able to turn into a victory. At the bare minimum, they did get a touch of damage here and there, nothing more. But DSG are going to be comfortably in the lead by 4 rounds now, 9-5. They also have the neural theft already available onto Grumble. So that's a really good piece of ultimate to have because the information that it provides on the back of maybe in a retake if they are able to find a stray kill towards A short or towards mid, because it seems like at the moment it might be an A split coming in the works here. If got the KO and the Jet moving in. Never mind, it seems like there's going to be an A-short smoke, so that could be a mid to B hit. A knife goes in deep, clears out market, but there's a tripwire currently keeping them at bay there, and Juicy's going to play reactionary on the back of that.
So different here, where just now DSGs were able to just walk all the way up into market. Gives a bit more info knowing that the trip has been broken. DSG just taking their sweet time. Smokes up one end. No understanding or no clue how many are coming through that market hold itself. Juicy fighting his way back into A site. So trying to catch anyone just lurking on toward the mid side all alone. Doctor still here. Pinging on to the A side itself. Vera, a good read. Just holding the side of smokes in case anyone were to try push through. But that pivot, this is going to be very interesting, very important, because a lot of information has been relayed. Vera caught unawares. Doctor is here. Immediately they burst onto the site itself. Playing and holding near the door area. Jansen good for one. Juicy gonna find one. Two in fact over in heaven before finally knocked down by Jansen. Plant comes through.
30 seconds left.
They might be able to walk away with this. 2-on-3. PSG with only a bulldog. The sheriff holder taken out. Trying to find where the last player is. Styron, the IGL of DSG, all alone. Could go for pickoffs if he's able to isolate. He's so good on those taps, but Jansen also brings the same to the game.
Good starting round on the bye here for RDA as they take up number 6, but it's still a long way to go. I agree that these guys are a little bit, less on utility when it comes to their defense. Having Juicy on that ISO and Vera on the Jet, makes it a little bit difficult to hold on to these pushes that come in from RDA, especially towards that A-short position, because you've got no really stoppage utility. Even if you've got, the vulnerable that goes in from Juicy, they can just swing out as a double or triple and take care of you right there. And that's what you need to be worried about as DSG. Extra aggression could turn things sour here. And Jansen's made sure that aggression from Vera, he was alone on market, jiggling towards mid, and he takes away his life. That's a big first kill to get as they now tread towards A short. They're waiting. They're awaited by Juicy and Wayne.
Null command pops. Doctor throws in the paranoia. Perfect setup for them to walk onto the side, but no one's home. They're playing a little bit more passive. Juicy on main here. So aware. Wayne has Juicy's back. Good for one. They play off this so well. Look at this hold. Instead of playing on the side itself, they play off-site, understanding that they're able to choke them on the side itself. A good reposition, adaptation for DSG to take the round away from RDA.
A really small off angle. That's exactly what Juicy needed. He just got it right in place, and he made sure that he waited for the right opportunity because they were so focused on the fact that the Doctor had flashed into the site, and they were focused on taking that fight because the setup was there. And he didn't realize that there's going to be somebody on A main towards the archway. Wines is taken care of, the smoke cut off the Doctor, and one after the other, the kills were absolutely perfect. Great round there from DSG. As now the Odins come out from Styron to make sure that they, settle this up as quickly as possible. But Juicy and Vera decide to take matters into their own hands, get one each towards the mid-region.
Previous round, Vera punished them. This time around, he learned. Got picks of his own. A lot more pressure, a lot more tension put onto the mid side. Uppercut. Put onto toward tree. Just to deter RDA from pushing through. This time around, RDA doing the due diligence. Checking out Wine, clearing every single corner. But that's the beauty coming in from DSG. Depth. Every round is a puzzle for RDA to figure out. Trying to find a way into the set itself.
Cover going out.
The covers come through. Lost out the members of RDA, and Wayne, all he has to do is just pre-fire. Chip damage. Rumble quickly follows up. The Doctor finds himself all alone once again. Not for long though. Sube
30 seconds left.
moved out of tree. Only a sheriff in hand. Can't pop heads. Another round for DSG. And the rounds get more and more. And RDA struggling to climb that tall mountain.
Yeah, this is slowly slipping out of hand, one after the other, especially Juicy. He's been on absolutely top of the game here. and they've got no answer to this. RDA, yeah, they're going to take the timeout at this late stage of the game, and it's really important for them as well because they really need to realize how they're going to approach this. Their utility has not been on point this time. They're not getting information that's actually useful to them in terms of taking control, in terms of getting map advantage, because they're trying to, go in towards mid to take a short. But the problem is they're losing out on straight up aim duels. The minute Juicy is popping his face in front of him, he's taking them out one after the other. They've got Grumble doing the same thing on the B side when need be. And now they're switching things up, it seems. They're going for that split up because you can see Grumble already on the minimap coming in towards A short, which means they expect that this is going to be a hit on a bit of a slow basis. They've been doing A quite some time, so they might actually try to go B this round, and that's why they've got Juicy set up there so that the kill contract can come through and they take out the one and only player who's going to be running in. I think they're going to try and, pincer Fixie this time because he's not had the best of games, and they want to try and allow Juicy to get him under his grip. If they're able to do that, then instantly that attack from RDA will be suffocated, stopped in tracks. And I think Juicy and that double stack on towards short is aiming for exactly just that. Look at how quickly Vera's going out. He's going to get one for free, and he gets away as well.
Oh man, trades out back Dr. Will. It's also doing
I
Fixie.
know exactly.
Some damage taken, both teams butting heads here onto the mid side. Looking to wrestle this control of that area. Neural left, giving all the information they need. Was DSG to decide to aggress, but it's gonna be an extra value taken from RDA. Markel, spotted out by Wayne. Wayne, playing the patient game. All about trying to figure out where everyone's going to be. Playing from inside those smokes, knows that a teleport from the Doctor has been here, and he sprays him out, cancel the TP. Fixie's down for a trade, he walks all the way into CT. 3 already to his name as the Doctor finds the last one. Whatever they talked about in that timeout clearly gave a lot of value. That was a very, very dominating round by RDA.
Yeah, I'm the jinxer right here. I said
Jinxer.
Pixie's not having a good game, and he finds 3. Yeah, of course. Yeah, why not? Sorry, DSG, my bad. But this has been a great round for RDA, and I'm really glad that they were able to actually work it out. Doctor's ultimate was perfect. He knew exactly where that smoke's coming from Wayne. He's done that 2 times before. He did it again. This time, he didn't fall prey for it. He had his teammates coming at the right time, find the frag, because the trade-off was perfect. And Fixie, finding the 3 that he did, on point. Vera, this time, going to be forced off of his mark, will be not using his dash either, because he's been detained from using his abilities. And RDA, once again, find mid control. But where do they want to go? The peak is still held on towards high mid and towards A short as well, as the spike slowly traveling in towards market.
Love how much control on market to just displace Vera. They've been punished way too many times onto the mid area. So now with Vera forced onto A site, the world is their oyster. Or rather, Ascent is their oyster. Doctor holding a little bit more of an aggressive angle here to see if anyone would peek out from tree. But DSG, they're starting to understand how they've been punished. Instead of playing proactively, they're going to play reactive. We see kill contract comes through. It's going to be Fixie picked up. Fixie, the star duelist, can he actually take this away? He can't! Juicy not allowing more than 1 kill contract to fail. Sube good for 1. Transfers back, he tries to go for more. Yes, he does. Styron, with that, Odin taken out of his hands.
30 seconds left.
Still less pressure to worry about from RDA in terms of damage dealt. DSG, not an impossible task to go for this retake, but a 1-man deficit will be a little bit harder to deal with. Vera coming to site, knows exactly what Doctor is now. Using the Cloudburst to cross, they're not going to do that. The pre-fires are just strong from RDA.
Wow.
2 rounds in a row, RDA. And DSG this time on the other end, wondering what are they to do.
Finally, a couple of rounds that they've been able to put together. Look at that pinstripe over there. If you look at RDA, they've just been exchanging rounds in that first half constantly towards the end of it. But this time around in the second half, they needed to get a couple of rounds together, and that's exactly what they've done. And instantly, that sent a bit of a chill down DSG's spine, saying, okay, you know what, guys, we need to kind of take in a back step, see what they're doing, hold off for a bit, because they've got a little bit of control against us on that mid region. I think they really need that mid region to succeed a little bit more. RDA are going to keep focusing on making sure that market is being flushed out. That knife from Jansen has been really, really solid. It's been really helpful. And DSG have not been going to break it at all. Vera's been pushed off with his op. He's not getting that, value that you would get towards mid by getting the first pick and getting away instantly. Him not finding that is such good news for RDA, because the space that they create with not the players, but just the utility has been so far in the last 2 rounds really, really good. I think DSG need to try and maybe poke out that B main a little bit more, because they've been getting free real estate towards B main so far. So far is what I'm talking about. But if RDA choose to maybe change things up, taking a little bit of an aggressive approach, go for a B fast hit, then DSG might be in trouble. But it doesn't seem like the case. They're not changing the game plan just yet. They've got Grumble back on the B side, and they've got Vera back in towards mid. So DSG going with the same game plan, this time seemingly maybe more reactionary, not going for those, early pickoffs or early spots of information.
Silence.
Cage trigger.
Yeah, just figure out where DSG are.
They found my wire.
On the tripwire, breaking that. Good read by Grumble there. The Doctor is still up in his hand. Very rare we'd see an Omen with an op, but Doctor makes it work. Again, as Universe said, more reactionary instead of proactive. Smokes down, Wayne. Already anticipating this push, Bucky in hand, puts a bit of damage, takes out 1. Can he go for 2? Not quite. Fixie there for the trade. Taking up so much space onto the site itself. The other members of DSG running and scrambling onto A side itself. Hunter's Fury let out. But Fixie dodges meticulously. Plant cancelled, or is disrupted for the time being. They do get it in the end. Playing this corner, Fixie gonna be very sharp with this. 3 members on Heaven, Doctor dwindling it down. Cage has to buy a little bit of time and space. Sprays by Fixie, very, very strong. Moves down to play a little bit more safely with his teammates, understanding that Juicy is there. Markel finds 1, and so does Fixie. A good post-plant hold. And RDA looking great.
That was another solid round. Of course, DSG on a little bit of a weaker buy there. Didn't really have much to work with. They did get that first frag onto Sube, which gave them a little bit of confidence, but the retake was a little fragmented, giving out isolated fights, one swing out after the other, and then, of course, the push in. The minute they found that first frag with, I believe it was Vera swinging out from Heaven, they made sure that the confidence did not, track them back. They go in, set up Fixie for another fight, flash out from Jansen. Really good stuff here. But now DSG needs to turn things around. Shock Dart destroys. No, he doesn't actually destroy the tripwire, and he's going to set it up a little more deeper, Markel. Takes it back again. He's just playing sound cues here, baiting out that Shock Dart. That's really great stuff. Styron, no more Shock Darts available, which means they cannot break those tripwires, and that's actually so smart from Markel.
Not a lot of repositions from DSG. They're just doing the same thing again, but more about reacting this time. Taking a more passive approach. Their aggression, especially toward mid-side, has been punished. And RDA has been very, very good to just make sure that they cannot do and capitalize off it again. The only time that DSG was able to fully capitalize off that mid-hold was just once. This time around, Wayne will be in wine. They check it out. Playing so closely at the end of those smokes. Juicy good for 1, and Wayne just gonna completely spray inside the choke all the way on A main. 3 members dwindled out already. Moves out of the way, 5 bullets in the barrel. A lot of trust given to his teammates. Juicy as well as Vera are here. Places off angle. Doctor does not know that Wayne is there. What is going on? Wayne with 4, playing so very well. Despite the fact that he had put so much damage, RDA probably thought that he was playing on main with Juicy.
He didn't give a single sound cue away to actually get away from there. Just that one smoke causing so much confusion, but they knew that Wayne's here. He's the one who's been sitting in Wines getting it. And of course, Batman himself had to come in to clutch out for his team, make it match point. Master Wayne takes them to match point as RDA will now be looking to do their infamous match point runs once again. Doesn't seem likely at this point, but they're switching up the pace here really quickly on towards A main, and Vera's here with the up. Does not connect, but Grumble does his job instead. Gets 2, and the trades go either way.
A site completely in RDA's favor. 3-on-3 still.
Take flight.
Sube, the Aldron gonna give some info. Door will be eventually broken there, and Wade quickly reacts to his name. Plays inside of the cage itself. Uppercut just to catch him out. A very, very clean, decisive end to this map. DSG show us why Ascent is their playground, and DSG will take the first point.
Well, in this round of 5, it's going to be DSG who claim up the first map. And what a win as well. RDA did really try in that last second to, you know, switch things up, go in for a lot faster pace, but unfortunately they weren't just ready once again for Batman himself. He just comes out of smokes. He's like the shadow that behind you and takes out 2 like it's nothing. And then, of course, double swing from Juicy and him to finish off the round. Great stuff here from DSG towards the end to make sure that there is no snowballing effect here, no more match point curses that are going to be affecting them, and RDA will be nipped in the bud on Ascent. And unfortunately for them, it's not going to be a good map even after what they lost previously. And DSG continue to keep a 100% record win on Ascent across the entirety of MYSG Split 2.
I really love seeing how DSG had played the entirety of the map. Yes, RDA seemed very, very prepared to take this map against DSG. But when you are up against a team like DSG, one of the biggest, scariest thing that you have to deal with is that every single player in DSG are cracked as heck. Every single duel and aim fights have been a little bit more in their favor compared to RDA. RDA did try to band-aid the situation, tried to find ways to just really adapt and just keep DSG wondering. But when you have these standout moments like what Styron did just now, when in a round that looked to be RDA's round, it leaves a lot of question marks to answer as well.
Yeah, I think that RDA really kind of, you know, were sometimes overthinking into what they wanted to do in that first half in terms of retake or in terms of flooding into the site before giving them opportunity to actually plant down or even get to the site. And those ideas were solidifying really, you know, ironically in only the eco rounds, right?
Yeah.
And they did really well, but my only question was RDA seemed slightly indecisive at times. I'm not going to say completely, but there were times where they were confused about whether they want to take control of the game or they want to actually let them have the site and then go for the retake, because they were always kind of in between things. And those in between moments is when stuff like this happened. Juicy and Wayne took over the game and they were absolutely on point with their aim today, which honestly helped them get out of sticky situations quite a few times.
What's more interesting is the fact that with this ISO, one of the biggest problems is making sure that ISO can come online. And Juicy did exactly that. He's understanding that he can give a lot of value with his aim, with how he plays with those shields. Only losing one out of the many kill contracts he managed to do. And let's talk about communication here. When you talk about trades, talked about play potential, talk about swinging, DSG looked really clean in their timing on playing off each other, baiting off each other in fact. And they're so good at relaying this information that the rotations has given RDA such a problem coming into every single round.
Agreed. And I think that DSG, if you look at the way that they've translated their first kills, it's really good. I would have, you know, liked to see a little bit more from RDA in terms of initiation, because that's why they've lost so many of those first bloods. One person I really want to highlight, and of course he's on top anyway, Juicy, with a kill contract for what, 4 out of 5 times he's won all of his duels. The only time he lost was against Jansen, and they lost a round there anyway. But absolutely amazing stuff from that ISO there. I was concerned about their defensive half a little bit, given that RDA have watched them play Ascent time and time again. The VOD reviews must have been done as to how to tackle this team on defense, because they're not going to have as much utility to stop you. But DSG, they made it clear, we don't need utility. We don't need even the operator when Vera's not been able to frag. We just need a little bit of a double, you know, buddy system. We stick together, we win these duels, and they did that so very well, because their utility might have been less, Tash, but they were so impactful when it came to utilizing it at the very right second of when it was needed, especially towards that A main. Wayne, when he was playing in Wines twice with that paranoia helping Juicy, they were like Batman and Robin there, just, tagging along, taking, names, kicking butt at the same time. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. DSG, again, end of the day, it felt like for Juicy, he's just been really enabled in this particular game. 31% first blood rate says a lot of that story. And he really knows how to abuse the utilities that is given, the whole kit that ISO has to offer. Understanding that he's able to just really remove players such as Sube off the battleground. Yes, we did notice that Mark L was ready for him, playing offside itself and putting other players inside. But that first contact has already been taken out. So it's been giving a lot of space for DSG to work with. So kudos to Juicy for being able to provide the team just that.
Yeah, I think he was really impactful, especially in that A short position and A main as well. Playing along the arches, that one single smoke, you could see how much pressure Wayne was creating just by keeping Juicy there on the outer end of that smoke, where he's just, jiggling between A short and A main. He's keeping himself in the shadows to make sure that Juicy takes the first contact because he's got the shield, of course. But the minute they see him, Juicy swings out. He's got the paranoia. The A site was absolutely impenetrable for this RDA side on their attack, which honestly I was expecting more out of. I really thought that even though they've just played the Ascent the one time, with the kind of homework that they've got the brains to do on that team, maybe I was expecting a little bit more. But hey, 13-9 is not a bad scoreline. It is a best of 5. There's still so much more work to be done here. And we're heading into Icebox, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be right back at the back end of this break. And be ready because DSG have a fight coming their way.
C.
DSG is showing us why Ascent is their playground, looking very comfortable. And as for RDA, they're gonna be having to play catch up here as we go into Icebox.
Absolutely. Icebox is going to be quite the playground for RDA now, as they're coming in with, I would say, at least the statistical advantage, considering that this split has been really good for them on Icebox. They've gotten a lot done on it. Yesterday, of course, they won on it as well. That first map against Elevate that went on overtime, 16-14. It was a taxing win, but it was a win indeed because they know how to conduct themselves on this map. But DSG, it's not been the prettiest of histories on this map, in this split at least. And yeah, I think that this might be a lot tougher for DSG than you would expect, unless, of course, they make some changes coming into this, or change up their playstyle. I'm not quite sure, but I'm excited for it. Tash, what do you think that RDA need to do to win against DSG, especially after coming off of a momentum win like they just did?
I mean, for DSG, if they feel good, they'll play good. And this has, as the model, I can't English today, this has especially been seen throughout the entirety of this season. Now, the most interesting thing about looking at this map is that you do have Juicy still in that ISO, at least that's what we saw previously the last time they played. Now, they didn't find success in that one, and Juicy wasn't able to come online. In Ascent, that was exactly what we expected. Juicy to come online, be able to bait off his shield, take up space with his teammates, be able to swing off of that, and allow his teammates to be able to go onto the site itself. Now, in this situation, yes, understandable, some teams don't play duelist on this map, so it does make sense to when you can run a duelist that doesn't have to take up space, such as ISO or even Reyna here. But if, say, the duelist as ISO doesn't come online, what is the contingency plan that DSG has?
I really think that DSG are going to continue with that ISO because I feel like they have got Juicy right now on the chopping block. He's pretty much taking care of everything and everybody on the server, right? So I think that they're not going to change up. They did have a composition earlier into the split where they had the Jet and Reyna in place of the Jet and ISO, but the one thing I'm concerned about is the fact that the last two games they played on Icebox has been a loss. Let's have a look at how they've changed up. Have they changed up anything? And yes, actually they have. They've gone back to the Reyna from their very first matchup of Icebox in this split when they played against Lays, it was, I believe. That was the only time that the Reyna was brought out. And since then, it's been the, ISO comp that they've gone for. On the other side, they've stuck to their gear. They've gone for that Gecko double initiator comp once again. I am not completely sure about what DSG are coming into the plan with today on this, going back to the Reyna, but I feel like they want to allow Juicy to get into probably a little bit more of a flashy play, because I think that flash might help them because that Gecko is going to be troublesome.
I mean, we did see this sort of style of play yesterday, right? With the Reyna on, I believe it was Elevate. They were able to just completely dodge the Leer. That has been the biggest problem that Elevate was seeing. Now, into this one, yes, they're going to be relying on Juicy, but if they had really done their homework and watched the game yesterday, they should know how to displace a Fixie by playing a little bit more aggressive and taking up more space onto A main. If you remember, historically, Juicy used to be one of the most insane Reyna mains over in Ascension back when he played on Bleed. He felt like an immovable, unstoppable force, and that's exactly what he is. And I am excited to see him on this Reyna once again. Map 2, ladies and gentlemen, Icebox. Whether or not RDA can bring this back or put more pressure and just snowball DSG into 2-0 is the question here. So let's have a see what goes down.
Yeah, here we go. Map number 2, DSG on a map that's been not so great for them. The only map that's been not so great for them across this entire split, and they're going to have to get done with it in the second spot itself of this best of 5. Does it take a turn for the better for them, or will RDA continue their icebox dominance? We're about to find out. It's going to be RDA going in towards that A stack, it seems, with a 4-man stack, but you've got DSG making the exact right read of moving into the B side, which has been completely vacated for them, except for the Doctor only, who's going to spam down with a spike here. Does get a chunk of damage onto Styron, but nothing else.
All about that weight now, Styron. Ooh, the Doctor quick on that first one. Completely obliterates Vera. Does sustain a lot of damage in hand, but silence across the board once again. The infamous style hold play that we see from the Doctor previously, from Kingsman, now brought into RDA. They take up a bit more space. Unfortunately, moving back here. Trades all around, but no one tried through. Grumble coming in from mid. Huge! Just 2 of these players take up space from underneath of Tube. Another one is there. Win walking up, but Jansen is there for the hole. Mid area, orange, container, all in his jurisdiction as Styron finds himself alone, running away onto A side.
Yeah, it's a 1v2 now. The IGL needs to step up against 2 initiators. It's a battle of them, and he, of course, is the only initiator for his team, Styron. He's been pretty impactful this entire split. We've seen him be immaculate, not just with his aim, but with his clutches as well. He's really smart, but the problem is that Sube has waited for the recon to come back. He's got 2 shock darts. They've got the mosh pit as well. They clear out the close corner with it. They're really aware of the fact that, you know, they should be respecting Styron in this situation. And he's been taken out pretty early on. He was a little confused about the backstab, I feel. And that's going to turn this round sour for DSG. First round, the pistol goes to RDA.
Love that. Just really keeping him in the dark. And Styron, I think you were right there. He was probably just worried about being crunched from 2 different areas, trying to protect his back. Not sure where the swings are coming from. And you really got to give it to the RDA. They're understanding that in the previous round, the previous map, the biggest problem they had was that miscomm when it comes to their swing outs. And they seem to fix that, at least in this pistol. So RDA this time don't have to really worry about coming back on an eco. They already have the guns available. Fixie on that Outlaw. Phenomenal. We've seen him yesterday. Let's see if he can bring it again today.
But if a calmer approach here from DSG, they're going to just walk in towards B. Once again, it is the empty site, but there's an alarm bot kept at the doorstep to welcome them. Styron's going to try and sell out a fake, does send out a drone, and that's going to allow his teammates to probably crawl in and get the plant down. Alarmbot's been taken out. The Doctor triggers the Nano Swarm, and Vera, along with Juicy, do get the entry, and that's going to be a plant secured.
That is a classic. Was so sharp with that. Vera still here. Shields in hand. Very adept, very aware. Different style of aggressive play.
Spike planted.
That space, Fixie gonna be ready for him. Spots him out. I think he does. They know Fixie is there, ready for him. Yep, once again. Check out danger, finds no one. Sube out of the way. On hell. Clears out all of the possible nano swarms there. Fixie take out space onto yellow. Markel finds one, and so does Fixie. Not quite. Oh no. But Jansen and his utility gonna clear out Juicy. Wayne on the other end tries to put in a little bit damage, but can't take more than that out. It's RDA. Good start, looking very strong for this team.
Good start indeed. I was a little concerned after the Doctor lost his life, but the thing was, I feel like the spike sticking on Styron was a little far away. I think that the plan could have gone in a lot more earlier if one of the players, the 4 out of the 5 players that were there towards the B set could have had the spike on their shoulders, but it's done and dusted now. 2-0. RDA have got a Outlaw. They do have a Bulldog, and the remaining are not on as strong of weaponry, but it's still doable. Bonus could propel them for a great start on Icebox. Recons exchanged and destroyed on both sides as Sube realizes that this A side is going to be hit really soon, gets back. But DSG are not too keen. They've given a couple of sound cues, yes, but look at that stack once again. They've been playing this for 3 rounds in a row. The 4-man stack on A here has been so strictly followed round after round because they know that DSG will fall prey to it at least 1 out of the next couple of rounds.
Talk about manipulation of the map, forcing rotations. DSG has done quite that. This kind of noise possibly leave some question marks for DSG. Get the owl drone out. Immediately they react, putting out that poison orb. Turning off. No movement yet. The doctor holding on strong, trying to catch anyone in that mid rotation. They burst onto the side. Fixie is here, holding very closely. Sube pops one head, and Fixie finds one more. The defense for RDA looks strong as Grumble finds one more to his name. Trades on trades for both teams here. Man disadvantage for DSG. Jansen,
30 seconds left.
good at that hold. It's all about finding the IGL. Tyron all alone. He's been adept at popping hits. Takes quite a chunk of damage out of the Doctor. If he's able to isolate, not quite. Doctor, sharp as ever. And RDA take another round.
A brilliant bonus here. Another great decision to try and make sure that the A site is stacked up with as many members as possible, leaving the Doctor alone on B, making sure that he plays a safe retake as well. He had the mid control pretty much to his name as well. DSG just not prepared for that stack. They did get the trades in, but I feel like losing out Vera instantly in the beginning kind of cost them a lot of trouble because then they had no more, extra smokes to kind of play with, move around the site. And that is what caused them to take unnecessarily long-ended fights. And RDA allowing them to find their third.
Last time these two butted heads on this map, RDA, they look strong on attack side. It's clearly shown here. Is Jansen gonna catch one up yet? No. Juicy quick to answer. Doctor does find Vera. Intern. Kitchen. Still gonna come up online and held down by DSG. He's gonna leave that area. Running. Making a beeline for a site. The weaker side for the time being. Doctor is close. Been good on those trades. Grumble this time around will answer. There's a obliterating the Doctor's hit. He goes for 2, 3! Grumble! The player! Unjust! The Sheriff!
Wow.
4 to his name and Thrifty once again! Ref Thrift Arena! How about that aside? Thrifty's this time around gonna go to DSG.
And we begin with the Thrifties again. 2 out of 4 rounds, Thrifties. Yep, we love it. This has got to be. This probably has to be the most thrifty, based final or region for that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VALORANT NYSG Thrifty 2024.
Those shots got me off my seat. This is the Grumble that debuted last year when everyone was talking about the chatter all around, and this time a quick take to it mid area. Vera on this tube side. Doctor not showing himself. That is timing over that end. Not too sure if they've both spotted out each other there. He does have some semblance of idea. The Doctor, I mean. Vera playing it a little bit more safe. Not showing his cards yet. Forced to move back. Playing it a little bit more safe with his teammates.
Fixie does spot out a bunch of them. He's still gonna keep his... Nah, he's gonna get away from that position instantly. But look at Sube! I'm not quite sure why he went ahead by himself when Fixie was rotating back. I think it was kind of a setup that his rotation sound going back could have allowed Sube to get one, but it's not gonna be the case. Utility exchanged, and there's gonna be a force off because the Thrash is coming in. Are the attack ready for this? Swain says no. Swing out from the other side, and that's gonna be DSG trading off.
Doctor alone in the 1v2 now. Deja vu. Could catch a timing! Yes, he does! Dwindling down the numbers, making it more even. Grumble goes up to the top side. Does he know? I don't think he spot out Doctor at all. Both of them just barely missing each other. He crosses! When on earth is that? The Doctor, the big brain plays, the clutches! And his smile! So wide! Outplays on outplays. The Doctor delivers. Meticulous, surgical. Whatever you want to give. Whatever you want to say. He brings it to the table.
Yeah, that forces out such an early timeout for Disguised here, and they're going to have a conversation about how to approach this game further because their movement so far has not been working. That A site has been really difficult for them to keep control of, especially because of the Gecko utility. They're able, even if that flash gets broken out, they're not able to actually hold off the swings that come on the back of it. And this time around, they had the Thrash as well. Wayne got caught out, so he was of no use there. And the swing out from back end was not as good because they were losing players one by themselves. It was a 2v1 in the end, but unfortunately for them, the doctor had crawled in so deep into the side that he found a great opportunity for the first kill. No trade potential, and then timing and counter positioning was all that was, in play there. Nothing you could do about it. Nothing that Grumble could do about it because he just had no clue that the doctor was just walking back behind him. Found the perfect timing. And now DSG probably going to be focusing a lot more on that B site and mid, perhaps, because they've not found success on that A side whatsoever. I would like to see them do a bit of a split from the mid region, pressure, take out that, turret, and find that A side pressure to be released by making them focus on two different regions at the same time. And it seems like it might just be the case.
Quick clear onto mid side. Vera getting caught out. Doctor has not moved at all. The area of mid has been under his jurisdiction. Retreating into kitchen, understanding that it might be a push into tube itself. More passive side. Kind of noise for DSG. No movement quite yet. And this is what RDA thrives on doing. Keeping everyone in question. Where exactly everyone is. Wayne pushing up forward. Both players haven't seen anyone quite yet. Juicy, the first contact. Juicy and Wayne, one each. Does he notice death from above? No, he doesn't! Markel and Fixie, one to their name each. And this is what Juicy thrives in doing. Being the Reyna, an unmovable force. Grumble over on mid area. Tube, in fact, he holds it. Fixie's here, tries to go for a trade. And Juicy, aggression. He looks good, he's coming online, and he is on fire.
Yeah, that Reyna took a little bit of time to settle in, but he's already found a great round for himself. Vera, once again, a little slow to start here. Okay, interesting. They lose one round and instantly a timeout's been called out here from RDA. Seems like they don't want to give DSG anything, but this actually kind of helps DSG because they would have liked this timeout because they get more time, to chat out what would have been missed in the previous 1 minute that they just got to talk. And I think that RDA might be looking at a bit of aggression this round because they've got 4 ultimates, right? So maybe Markel getting set up towards that A side to shut off any sort of possibilities. But the problem is that both the Killjoys and both the Vipers right now on this map have got their ultimates and the Sovas as well. So this is going to be a really hard-fought round. But I think that RDA are going to focus on the fact that they're going to shut off an entire site. I would like to see that happen because that gives them so much more map control that they've been striving for on the A side. They've been constantly pushing. They did that the last round as well. They got 2 players to push up towards that A site, both Fixie and Sube. This time around, it could be the Viper's Pit.
I am anticipating chaos. And many, many ults set down at the same time. What do you think?
Never mind. Yeah, I think that, Markel's gone back towards... okay, they're actually letting go of B completely. They're focusing on a pinch, it might seem, here. Aggression shown towards the A site. And they want to flush them out of here, but Fixie gets picked up from the sky.
They punish, and they punish hard. Grumble for 2. The sharpshooter, all the way from Ascent, coming here to Icebox as well. This time around, the Doctor going a little bit more safe. He pushes out, catches one off guard. But no more than that as Juicy trades him. Markel alone, unfortunately his timing not on his side. We're not anticipating how overwhelming this attacking side and aggressive DSG was going to be. Good for 1, gets an upgrade. Waiting for the right time, Grumble and Juicy playing together, a buddy system as you call it, Universe. Slowly but surely making his way onto Nest, trying to catch any hits all alone up there. Moves out of the way, fakes it out, goes up to Nest once again. Playing the back of sight, DSG making sure to give so much respect to Markel. We've seen what happens when you don't yesterday. No eyes up toward heaven. Grumble taken out. Time is on his side. Nope. Juicy quick to find him and obliterate him, win the round.
Yeah, again, too close for comfort here. DSG needed a final player to step up. They missed the timing of Markel just kind of slowly sliding across the ropes there. But the pistol showed damage once again, showed potential once again. This time, no eco, but really close to one. And the ultimate's still active, still ready to be used here. And I feel like they might just go for the retake on both sides because B, it seems like they've left it completely on the back of Doctor's lockdown. That's exactly why they've just got the smoke orb from the Viper there and nothing more. Vera this time with the knives himself, looking to find what Fixie couldn't in the previous round, as he's been propelled forward and the entirety of DSG following him up.
Moshpit clearing out the other side of Maze, forced to give up that space. All the utility expended, but it does force the rotation from the members of RDA. Rumble had positioned himself all the way back onto spawn just to catch. The Doctor would be crossing. He does find him in the end. That Poison Orb not allowing him to cross. You can see that pivot from DSG, read very well by the members of RDA.
Back towards B once again. They rotate and there's a fake. Look at that fake. It's a fake ultimate set in by the Killjoy. But look at RDA. They're not so bad at all. They don't move an inch. They don't care. They don't care about that Killjoy lockdown. They know they're playing the right game, and they are. They most certainly are. But will they be able to hold off is the question, because here comes DSG once again.
Here comes the Hunter's Fury, and the pit is there. Jansen catches Vera, going all the way to Snowman, not allowing that space to be taken away. Gonna be spraying all around inside of the pit. Sube good for one with the Hunter's Fury, but Juicy will be good for a trade onto one more. Playing away from the lockdown. They themselves, RDA has one for themselves by some time. No detainments, yellow, full jurisdiction of DSG. Gets that plant. Yes, it does. Go! Carrier will be killed. Markel. He plays the entirety of the backside so well. One-on-one, Juicy alone. He needs to take a fight! Can't win it! Markel, 3! All on his lonesome. He holds his ground and leaves it to himself to be able to clutch it.
They ran out of time once again. DSG, and time has been once again spewed down on this map of Icebox. We saw it once on Ascent, but even though they got the trades, Markel played it so smart. He knew that he didn't need to take the fight. He had 5 seconds to survive, and Juicy had to run behind him. He kind of wasted a second there, expecting that Markel's gonna actually swing him out, but that was not gonna be the case. Smart as they come, RDA, and they're showing why the big brains are just as good as the fast aim.
Oh, the battle of the offers. Fixie won't be winning that one. Vera swings up, pops his head. Repositions. No use onto that dash quite yet. Not expanded. Will be wasted for the time being as Sube gonna catch 2. 1 on pipes. Anson gonna be moving his head all the way up there. So Crosshair finds nothing. Silence one again. This mid-round lull has been one of the most interesting ones, as you find both teams sort of playing this idea, trying to figure out where exactly each one is going to be. As Vera, another one to his name. 3!
Oh,
he opens out the entirety of A-side all on his own. One more bullet in the barrel. Can't go more than that as the rotate happens. Grumble will be caught out here by Markel, his counterpart. Clears out one side of the site. Vera, a 4. Can he bring it to an ace? Doctor looking to deny. Yes, he does. Retake going to be hard. Many angles to clear. Many places to look out for. The least he can do is play off one utility. Finds one Nano Swarm. At least he knows time won't be on his side. Lear used as well. Juicy takes some space. The swing out from Wayne as well. Team play from DSG looking clean.
Yeah, while it is looking clean for DSG, I cannot say the same about RDA. Giving off 3 picks to Vera on that A site. 1 by 1, by the way. No real team fights being given to him. He was given free reign to use that operator as he pleases. And the Vera that we saw in the first map was clearly not the one that we saw in this round. He's getting a little bit more confident, and that's exactly what you love to see, because he's been one of the best players across his entire split, and his team supporting him to get into good positions now, as once again they head towards mid. DSG break off the turret, and RDA responding with a bit of a mid push themselves here. I don't think Vera might be ready for this.
Oh man, Juicy and Vera. One needs a shorty as well, and the Guardian. Vera takes up so much space onto Tube. Sube, no clue where to look. Window, mid. Reposition there. Cloudburst allowed him a little bit more space, but Sube pushes! Gives dividends. In fact, an upgrade. Vera seeing to see if anyone were to push out mid, finds none. Wayne just scrambling onto the A site, calling upon his teammates. The other members, Markel and Sube, we've seen them do magic before. We've seen them win this player deficit rounds. Gonna find one hit, that'll be Wayne. Sube reading this very well like a book. The previous IGL this time moved into a different role, initiator, and he gives the numbers before Styron shuts him down. Markel once again finds himself in a 1v2. Sheriff in hand, he can pop heads. Already pinged, his teammates know where to look at. Vera, his eyes on two screens. He's all down alone. He needs to play this very quietly. He pops it.
Oh my God!
Once again, making the unimaginable happen.
Clutch.
I almost broke a sweat.
It's those pistols. It's those damn pistols, man. Those sheriffs keep working for these guys.
His smile. His knowing
so
smile, and it
good.
happens.
Yeah, he knew already. He knew a second ago that he's gonna win it. Sube, I thought, would be able to get away, but Styron was good to get that trade. But unfortunately for them, nobody was expecting the flank. Such good plays, such good precision. Markel.
Goodness.
I was really concerned that he would, push the trigger, pull it, and get it done with, and then there would be a clutch coming in from Styron. But my word, this guy. And instantly, RDA start off with the same amount of confidence that they did in the previous round, getting the first pick here. Fixie taking out Juicy, the main man, as DSG in a little bit of trouble here.
Bringing back hope into Malaysia. Wayne finds Jansen. Fortunate for that. Change in pace for DSG as Vera follows through. DSG looking very, very angry. Possibly a round that should be theirs, not in their favor. Changing at the tempo, the pace, they take out two already the members of RDA, but not without losing one of their own. Fixie, quite low in HP, playing a dangerous game. Pushing up. This has been one of the most valuable things, one of the standout moments that Fixie has to offer. The fact that he's not afraid at all. Vera spots him out, they ping him. Not the best situation to be in, timing not on his side. Rumble alone spots him out. He does punish him for daring to go there alone. No support from his teammates. And now the scramble. The other members of RDA saying, okay, you were not expecting this to happen. A 2-on-4 this time. And it was good for DSG. They go for the hits. They go for the pickoffs. They move backwards and then re-hit once again. Vera, the blades doing him so much good. Moves out of the way. Knows that Markel is going to be close. Styron to close out the game. It's Thrifty. It's always the Thrifties for these two teams from yesterday all the way till today.
65 DSG. Once again, I said the phrase DSG might be in a little bit trouble, and then instantly they get two frags, one from Wayne and one from Vera. Of course, because it's really interesting that the both of us have been on the same table right now on the cast, because we're both infamously called the Jinxers from our regions, right? So
yeah,
it's amazing how far our powers can go. And yeah, well, it takes us to the final round of Icebox here as DSG looking for a solid 7-5 half at least. It's not going to be a bad half on attack on Icebox to have at least 5 rounds, especially given the way that RDA have been, predicting them, giving the reads as well. And Vera, once again with the operator this time, hoping to pull off the same value he did 2 rounds ago.
Silence. Footsteps possibly heard, and this time around, RDA with 4 already stacked onto A site. We've seen this hold before, but this time around a lot more passive. Just reacting for that first contact. Vera, 3 rounds in a row, has been aggressive. Quick with that up, he goes for 2. Another one in his name, yes it does. Wants to go for 4, can't do that as Markel shuts him down. Grumble is there for the recovery. Doctor, his taps, phenomenal. Again, RDA finds themselves into these situations where they're forced to clutch. This time around, it's the Doctor. But this time around, said that way too many times. DSG playing a bit more safe off the site itself. Forced to play a little bit more aggressive here. Doctor needs to play off that space. Can see the recons, the util popped already. Juicy, the jiggles come through. Wall bang onto the Doctor. They bring it to a 6-6.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I was actually expecting them to not finish off on the 6-6. I thought that, you know, the RDA with the 4-stack once again that they had will be able to actually flush out any sort of pushes, because the minute they take that backside fight, they've got so many targets. But Vera once again with that operator showing how good he is. It doesn't matter whether he's on attack or on the defense. He's got the frags as long as he's got the aim. The isolation of the fights was amazing here from Vera. The first one, really good. The second one, even better. And then one after the other, they just keep falling prey to that one-shot weapon. Amazing stuff. The hero of that last couple of rounds for the first half, Vera, he was 5-9, and now he's 11-11.
Yesterday, Fixie has been the biggest problem that Elevate had to deal with. It seems like TSG has done their due diligence, and on this missile, Vera opens up with 2. Aggressive. Going once again onto yellow. He did not pop that dash, so RDA has no clue whether or not he is or had repositioned away. Fixie, he has space onto yellow. Good for 3. Fixie on the side itself. He's gone far!
Ooh.
All alone on the site! Markel once again finds himself alone. Markel, he's been great, aggressive, multi-frag king as they call him. But in a 1 versus 5? That might be a lot to ask for.
Most certainly is, but he's not gonna, of course, give up. Spots Styron, finds the first, but he's already down to 50 HP himself. He's got a tail right behind him that's gonna walk in, but it's a little late here. And I'm not quite sure they expect him to actually go in towards spawn, but they are chasing him. Yeah, they are. Vera
here. Oh, denied the ace. Markel. He knows how to take these trades, how to play these isolated games. Tap up his gun to tell everyone where he is. Grumble looking the wrong way, moves. And he pivots all the way onto A side. Time slowly running out. He can try and do the impossible. Not planting default means he stays away from all those utilities. Tap by tap, can't do more.
Oh, that turret.
Oh man, but Vera's opening on that 4 all alone. The only one playing at yellow. The guardian of Belong. That is terrifying stuff.
Yeah, really good. But I was a little bit, you know, antsy at the last second. I thought Markel is going to get one more, you know, good fight for himself. But Vera, his shots, man, they're walking into his crosshair, and he's absolutely on fire. He did not start off on a good note, but the pickup from this guy to go from the bottom of the, you know, table to the absolute top now is 15 and 12. Multi-kills after multi-kills after multi-kills. Vera's absolutely back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. And DSG could not be happier at the moment, having their main duelist take up everything in the bag.
Spike down mid.
That was a very, very ballsy peek by Wayne. Spots 3, in fact, at mid. Pops 1 hit off. Expense of his life. Markel taking a more aggressive hold this time around, waiting to see if anyone were to peek him. Puts 1 out, does not know there's another, will be punished. Knows that Sube is close. Rumble finds 1 more. So, for Wayne here, rotating over, Styron. Eventually find the doctor. These are skirmishes all throughout the map itself. Vixie, sharp on that sheriff. It's quite low. But that has an upgrade. Finding comfort in using the one-tap weapon itself. He's had some semblance of value. Can't do more. Rumble held his ground onto Kitchen, did not move a single inch.
Once again, DSG given a little bit of trouble, but not more than you would expect. They are in the lead still, so this is not a map that's going to be done and dusted just yet. They're hoping for revenge here, and DSG know how to exact that very thing. So far, they've kept Fixie on hold. Look at him. He's 5-14. He's having a pretty rough game here. And yesterday, if you remember, Tash, Fixie was a monster on this map.
Oh, yeah, he was. They weren't able to displace him yesterday, Fixie. The biggest problem was that every single area that Elevate had put their Lear failed to displace him. But this time around, it's different. Fixie not able to capitalize on defense. You expect him to pop up and attack. Not happening at all. It's been hard when you have a team like PSG with one player going aggressive. Maybe he does that. Not quite happening anytime soon as Grumble trades him out. But Fixie has done his job. Trading out weapons here, Grumble. 15 HP left, but he's been popping heads. Jansen, the player that we were looking at to clutch, to pop hits, the multi-frags coming from him. They've been able to get some in the previous half, hasn't been able to do quite yet here on the attack side. Walking up, it'll be Markel. Finding Grumble, he was low, will be punished. Jansen as well, playing off his teammate. Wayne for 1, for 2, just with the Bulldog. He has to reload! And Jansen, quick to find him in the end. 1 versus 2, Styron. A judge in hand. A sheriff as well. We've seen taps for him on Ascent. Can he do it again? Time not on his side. As he rushes forward, perhaps exit frags might be something he wants to do, but for DSG, they've done a job taking 3 rifles away. It's already good enough for them.
Is everyone's text still
He
working?
tried to chase him. It was a little bit of a funny moment there. It almost seemed like he just about gets taken out by the edge of that spike blast radius. But hey, that's going to be RDA taking up their first buy round in the second half, and they've got Markel's ultimate already activated. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to be afraid to use it no matter what, because RDA need to secure rounds no matter what. They don't need the frags. They don't need something crazy. They just need the rounds. And right now, Markel's Viper's Pit is going to be just as good of a win condition as any, because they've got nothing really to stop him, Brit. They've got no Killjoy ultimate right now. The couple of nanoswarms that are there, not going to be, you know, fishing out too much out of them. As RDA, once again, on that A side, hoping to execute in that same way. But look at that triple stack from DSG. Juicy on top of 410.
All these utils, all this pressure coming through. Fixie takes up space, has to be moving back. Grumble capitalizes on that by Doctor. Grumble for 2! Styron! He follows back. A quick collapse by the members of DSG. Playing off that first contact and completely denying space to the members of RDA. Veras here hasn't moved a single inch. Trying to catch if anyone from RDA were quickly just running onto the other side. But for RDA, there's still a lot of time to work with. If they're able to just really catch them up, play these 1v1s very well. They've done it before, but the alarm bot spots them. Gives an alert to the other members of DSG. Wingman planting as Vera
Spike planted.
playing in from main. They have no clue that he's there. Slowly but surely, the other members of DSG taking up that space. Here's the footsteps, Markel. Trying to catch one in the midst of the rotation. He does play this close corner. Finds Grumble. Quickly pivots away. Vera for 1, and so does Wayne. Was a bit concerned of the 1v1s. But DSG, they had thought of everything before they rotated over.
Yeah, they made sure that the one and only contingency plan would be Vera, where he came on really late from B main, and that was a really good decision as well. But the only reason why this round was successful for DSG on that A side was because Vera took up so much space on that B main side early into the game. And that confirmed the fact that this is going to be an A hit, and they rotated all the way. They had a triple stack there. Juicy was playing in a good position. Grumble finding 2 once again to show how good he's been. And if you want to see how good he's been, just look at the scoreboard no further. 21-11. Both the Vipers have been on top of their game in this map of Icebox. And Markel looking to be the superior one after he probably executes a Viper split in this round. But this is, of course, an eco for RDA, or should I say, one of the rounds that they usually end up winning.
Aldrin gonna spot 1 towards screens, and Fixie bursts onto the side. This time around, he goes a little bit more backwards, trying to opt in to play a little bit more with his teammates. Perhaps to trade, perhaps just be able to trade off each other. Juicy will find the wingman, takes him down, not before Grumble finds Fixie as well. The numbers dwindling as Grumble is just popping heads one by one. Win is here as well as Styron, and they completely crunch RDA in the site itself. And RDA has no clue how to break this defense. Finally, DSG looks to be able to take away the playground from RDA.
Catastrophic the Viper Spit came active, but the only thing that they couldn't do was take proper ended fights. What usually RDA, what they do, they, you know, of course, depend on their aim on their sheriffs. They're really good with the swing outs. They're really good with the aim. They're really good with the way that they isolate their fights. But this time around, it just wasn't the case. The one and only thing that worked out in their favor was the fact that the Doctor got Grumble. That's it, because he would have probably mowed them down anyway. And I'm not quite sure why Markel decided to come out of the Viper Spit himself and peek out, because he was the one keeping that round alive for them with the Viper Spit. I get the fact that you want to swing out and take the fights against Grumble, you know, as a team. But once again, he was just ready. He was in a good position. While the idea was there to make sure that the Viper got taken out, but instead they ended up giving him 3 because of weaponry. While, yes, they're good with it, doesn't necessarily work all the time.
RDA, they've had a pretty good run on this map. Look at statistics. For RDA, these maps have been won through overtimes, down to 1v1s, heroics. And that was the question I had yesterday. For RDA, is that enough for them to overcome a team that is as solid as DSG? Mid side will be the area of contention.
Yeah. They're going to take up mid, take out the turret instantly to make sure that the pressure is kept alive towards that region. And DSG are paying respect to it. They're going to let them make sure that they're going to let them know that they're going to keep their eyes trained towards this side. But Vera, he's got the B side practically in a lockdown. The drone's coming his way. He's going to take it out. He's going to be spotted out. Goes back. Does he go for the re-peek? Nah, he's going to just fall back and retreat towards spawn. Snowman, actually. As RDA start crawling in slowly towards B main. The spike is here, by the way, and they've got the thrash as well. And I think Jansen's going to try and activate that to clear out the close corner to get the plant down. But they're going to wait for the recharge of Markel's wall. Shock Dart to clear out any Killjoy utility up close. They've got 2 layers of lurk here, RDA. I'm not quite sure the firepower on this B-side attack is going to be enough, because Vera taking out the one shot is going to be more than sufficient for them to stop this attack in its tracks. Markel joins them, and now this is a lot more convincing from RDA. Can they do it? Last 30 seconds, and DSG not really reading it completely just yet.
Oh, Pixie coming up forward to set the space. Gonna spot a Vera as the thrash gets him. A change in pace. Wayne finds one more. So 1 for 1 here.
No charges left.
Pixie holding a lot of space here onto the mid-side area. Disallowing any rotations. Tyron takes him down. Trades all around here for both teams. Not the end quite yet. Lockdown gonna be used here at the very least, just to really flush out the other members of RDA. Lear as well, just to really replace them. Jansen all alone, forced to move out of the site itself. And for DSG, they're okay to go for the defuse and just chase Jansen out of the site itself. A save from Jansen. He can't do more than that. A good start from RDA, but they could not hold the site for any longer.
Yeah, that ultimate, I was a little bit looking forward to the fact that Markel would actually push through that Viper wall to maybe, you know, give them a little bit of, confusion that, you know, well, yo, hey, he's come through. He's going to get some kills here. But no, I was looking for Markel to cause a distraction so that Sube could destroy that Killjoy lockdown, at least for the fact that, you know, they've got their Gecko in towards main and he could play on the back of that being destroyed. But they waited and both of them lost their fights. Juicy came in from spawn. Once again, towards mid they go, but this time, it looks like DSG are reading this well. Vera's already set up with the op towards that mid region. One's already crawled in towards Tube, the Doctor. He might just be able to actually carve out 1 kill here. Nope, he's actually going to go back. They're going back towards B once again.
Tara does spot a 1 underneath Tube as well. Vera gonna move out of the way. Enough information for him. Seen Vera pop heads here with the Sheriff. Excuse me, that was... Yeah, it was Vera. This time with an op. Waiting. Dashes out. He's a little bit more safe. 1 more shot just for a good measure as he moves out of the way. Takes a bit of damage here. Vera gonna run up forward. The Dizzy played very well. Staron finds 1.
Oh my
how Vera survived that long! The jump!
Planted. You should run.
Can't do more this time around. The 3-on-3 lockdown gonna be placed down. Sube tries his best to protect that lockdown, not gonna be able to. very, very chaotic round, but DSG, they managed to tie it up and capitalize.
Once again, it is those fights that they peak out. The lockdown went down, but I'm not quite sure why they felt the need to swing out and give DSG the opportunity to take them to a 50-50 fight. It was completely unnecessary. I was about to scream out laughing here for a second, but then
Yeah,
Pixie and the anime battle of the decade there, that, you know, top 10 moments nobody wants to see. That's what it was. You know, quite the moment there. But yeah, at the end there, RDA kind of giving away the bag by, you know, taking a couple of unnecessary peaks or jiggles or whatever you want to call it. And that gives DSG the opportunity to take fights that they are going to be very much welcoming. Gives them number 12, and now they sit on top of things with a couple of ultimates to their name as well. They've got Grumble's Viper's Pit in case they want to go in to, you know, completely solidify this A control in their hands. And Juicy's already begun the party with the first kill.
Fixes on the side. That's quite a bit of damage there for one end. Sube playing close to Generator here, coming up close. He knows there's one on Raptors, but this high-low hold from DSG gives Grumble the perfect opportunity to get two. Alir to come out. Does not displace Jansen. Thankfully, Grumble is close for the trade. This is still holding, and Grumble with 4! What a way to end the map! A 2-0 in DSG's favor! And I wouldn't be surprised if we were looking at Toast dancing in his camera right now on his stream.
Ah, man. This guys, what a game. Honestly, I'm gonna bet on Grumble. Holy hell. I've got a lot more words to follow up that holy, but because of the way this guy played, but my God, he can frag, he can hold down a site. He's great with his patience. He knows how to take control of isolated situations. He knows how to separate these, you know, the utility that he uses as well. Just too good. Grumble took over this game with multi-kill after multi-kill. I'm actually not sure how many kills he finished on, but I'm pretty sure he hit the 30 mark.
I mean, all hail the new multi-frag king, at least for Icebox, and all hail the new Icebox king on top of that. RDA, unfortunately this time around, not able to retain their title as King of Icebox as we go into map number 3. Now, that Icebox map was a very interesting one for me because DSG were very dynamic with how they played, changing up every single round. Okay to play slow, okay to play aggressive. And I think it comes down to that one theme that DSG has. Manipulation of the map and forcing that rotation. RDA finds themselves so many times in a position where they thought it was going to be an A hit, but it's actually a B hit. There was one particular round where I think we saw that, okay, RDA read that to a T. They won it, but that was just one out of the many rounds that was manipulated by DSG.
Yeah, they did really well on the fact that they were able to keep control no matter what. Even if they lost a bunch of players, the fact of the matter was that they had enough to make sure that RDA weren't allowed to actually overcommit into a side, even if they got that first kill. And that happens so many times on that B side on the attack, right? Where RDA, they're walking in, they attack the B side multiple different times. They get control, yes, but no more than just a plant. Because DSG hold off with utilities so well, even though it's little available for them on that B side because they play more on the retake and the operator was singing the tunes for Vera. It was so much more about the control of just pressure provided by DSG by keeping their players alive even after they lose one. There were moments, of course, of shining, brightness from RDA, moments like these. But then we've seen anime battles as well from both the Jets, so yeah.
I mean, in this situation, I think this comes down to what we talked about yesterday. About what was the recipe for success for RDA on this map. It was Fixie. Fixie being able to multi-frag. Fixie being able to catch the rotation of so many teams trying to rotate on the side, playing these off angles. But DSG was not allowing that. Fixie had no moment to shine, no space to play with. Because every time he does, it's always going to be an instantaneous trade. Yeah, there were moments where you can see Fixie try to go aggressive, try to take up that space for his team. But because of the utility set up by DSG, it makes Fixie unavailable and inaccessible to his teammates to go for that follow-up. So whatever it is, heroics, if you want to play yesterday, or multi-frag that we saw yesterday, was not able to happen when you have all these contingency plans, as well as, I would say, moments and support for your teammates that really enable players such as Vera, such as Wayne, such as Juicy.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy that moment once again, you know,
That was
without
so
having
silly.
to say a single word. Yeah, absolute beauty. DSG gonna take a solid 13-7 win here, and this is a statement from them as they are marching on towards a 3-0 direction, which RDA are gonna be dreading oh so much right now because they just lost the one map that could have been their strongest victory. Icebox was RDA's to come in. Everybody knew that. Everybody on the back of statistics and everybody who were looking at the way that DSG played their recent game as well knew that RDA had at least a stronger hand on this map. But DSG playing the way they did, Grumble dropping the numbers he did, has shown, yep, there it is, 30-13, 398 ACS. This guy is on an astronomically different level than the entire server.
What is it about this season and dropping 30? Everyone seems to be dropping 30. I'm talking about VCT Americas. I'm talking about MYSG Challengers. Yesterday, Fixie was the one who's able to do that, and this time around, it's Grumble on the other end for this situation. And Grumble, you don't really see flashy plays from him either. He's all about that hold, all about not allowing anyone onto his side, onto his area. And because of what I said before, the support coming in from Styron's Recon, from Wayne's Utility, from Vera's First Contact, the Lear set up by Juicy. These are all, I would say, recipes for success. And I'm loving the fact that they have played a whole different comp throughout the entirety of this split. And now they change it for the Grand Finals itself, and suddenly every single counterplay and idea that RDA had to really go against DSG is all thrown out the window.
Yeah. Like, look at this kid, man. 2.6 KDA, 30 kills, 85% KSC percentage. Absolutely insane. And almost every second kill being a headshot. So, fair enough, I guess. You know, he's probably had the game of the tournament so far, in my opinion. It's been insane seeing him play the way he has, especially for the fact that he's a Viper as well, right? So, yeah, this is going to be quite the map 3 here. We're heading into, I believe, Lotus next, aren't we? Yeah, I think we're heading into Lotus next.
Into Lotus.
And that's going to be another matchup for us to see if or not RDA can make a comeback, because that's another game that I feel like they're really comfortable with. Lotus has been good. They've played a lot of Lotus RDA. But what do you think? How should RDA approach this? Now they're 2-0 down. Mentally, these guys have been strong throughout the tournament, but right now, in the most important situation, they're going to need a lot more of, you know what, let's not give up. Nobody's giving up right now. What do you think they need to do?
They need to play Silver Scrapes to see if it's going to be a reverse sweep. Well, we're hoping for that, rather. But coming into this, I think it comes back to just playing their own game. RDA is a team that has high stamina. They thrive in high-pressure situations. There are just so many times when they are down 2-10, they can come back into, you know, bringing into an overtime. It is definitely not impossible for them. Lotus is a game that they've been, a map that they've been playing so much. So let's see after this break how they fare. So we'll be right back.
ANC.
A journey written in fate itself that's brought these two teams till this stage. A team that's been dominant across the entirety of the split, and one that's etched their names through a lot of hard work to make themselves available for this grand final. And right now, both of them are trying for their absolute best to reach Japan, and one team is just one step away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we head into map number 3 of this grand final of the 2024 Valorant MYSG. As well, it has been quite the first 2 maps. We did not expect Icebox to go the way it did, but now here we are. Lotus, one step away, DSG from reaching Japan. Tash, can RDA pull off a comeback?
This is the question, but also don't forget, everyone, that this tournament is brought to you and also sponsored by Creative Labs. And it's a very interesting situation for this one because they have a whole bunch of peripherals for us gamers, for us to use, as well as not only this is brought to you by Riot Games, powered by the gaming company as well. Now, anyways, coming back into this game, high pressure moment for the team RDA. Can they pull off a reverse sweep is the question. 2-0, they have to play catch up here. Is a do or die moment. Yesterday was one of the longest games we've seen for these teams. 5-mapper, overtime as well. They defied all odds to be able to overcome one of the favorites for the tournaments, which is Elevate. Can they pull an upset onto DSG as well is the question. Onto this one now, we're going to go straight into Lotus. This is a map that we've seen them play quite a lot now. They've had like, what, 10 times played this entire, 14 played officially this time. And a lot of those maps have been very, very close wins and losses.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that there's a lot of homework for DSG that could have been done on the back of all of that, intel that they've gathered. They've played that Sky, comp for quite some time now. They've pulled it back once again. And these guys have played it just 3 times, by the way, just letting you know. They've not played it since they have faced off, I believe, Ninjas in Galaxy back in the 4th round. So DSG are coming into this a little bit more fresher than RDA are. Let's have a look at who the agents are going to be selected. The Neon comes out for Vera here as they're going to continue with that comp with just a touch of a change. There's going to be no Killjoy. They're going for the Cypher. So this is the 4th time in a row that they've changed the comp of them playing in Lotus. DSG, once again, shifting up the books.
Interestingly, I mean, RDA as well, bringing in a Raze instead of the Jet. I think it was a conversation that we had before about why they would be running in that Raze over the Jet. I think they swapped it before to the Jet and now bringing it back onto the Raze. There's a reason why Raze is the primary duelist played on this map as well. But Vera, I think we've seen before how Zan was able, from another team, was able to run on this map with a Neon. We've seen it happen from Governor on Talon. We've seen it happen from Munyet from RRQ. Not surprising to see Vera here. The beauty of this Neon is to be able to not only take up space, become a distraction, and also, if played very, very well, you can throw in the stun, play with the C's, and get maybe 2-3 pickups at one shot if they want to go aggressive onto the area of Mound as well as Rubble.
I really am excited for this pickup of the Neon because I love watching that Neon stun play, coupled with the Fade as well, which they have picked up. But my only concern right now is the fact that have they slightly messed around with the textbook a little too much here? Because this is the 4th different composition in this split that they've gone for on Lotus, which is not exactly something that you would say that, is they feel confident about. Maybe they're switching up things because they don't really feel like they need I would say Killjoy, forgive me, I just missed out on that, because the Cypher is now coming for Grumble, and while he does feel a lot more comfortable in it, I agree, and he's been on top of his game, so there's no point in questioning him right now. I just want to see how they work around the fact that they're not going to have retake utility as much as when they have a Killjoy.
Aggression all around. RDA, they're active this time. But at the expense of Jansen's life, so low. Now silence all around once again. We have a team that wants to manipulate rotation, wants to force rotation, and a team that plays very slow, takes the time to really answer and figure out these puzzles.
They're going to slow it down once again, but look at how PSG have set up for this. They've got a one-way put up towards tree. They're expecting this A attack, and they've got their Fade playing so far deep. Styron, he's playing in spot, and he expects them to push in because the two of his players are going to be holding off crossing towards tree, and it's a pretty good setup as well. They still have the stun here. Smoke's fading away, and still no point of contact from RDA. There comes the flash. The one-way goes up once again. The flush in from A main, and that's going to be DSG losing their players on site.
RDA comes up with a trade as well. Members of DSG dwindling in numbers as Markel finds Styron. Full control of drop here from Sube. Crispy headshots. Can he go for another? Yeah, no. Juicy answering back. 1-on-3. See magic happen, but not when Markel has something to say about it.
First round for RDA. Really meticulous, slow round. I was a little bit looking forward to the fact that DSG would be ready for it. I thought they were expecting what was going to happen, the flash in as well. They knew that Wayne's got, forgive me, they knew that the doctors, going to be setting his teammates up for success at some point. But unfortunately for them, they got siphoned off into two different points of attack because Vera had to fight in the players coming in from the side of main, and Wayne was already flashed away.
Seen moments of eco wins this time around. Jensen,
Must wait a moment.
bit more wise, moves out of the way quickly, knowing that there's going to be a lot more pressure coming in from B main. Juicy will be planting himself here this time. As on C, usually we see a solo Cypher there, but going to be accompanied by Styron.
Gonna close in a little slowly. A couple of bullets being fired to make sure that the box is not occupied by anybody, but Juicy's holding a close angle. He gets the first. No, it's gonna be Styron. They're gonna swing out towards the doctor. The nade to keep him on bay as well. The spike has been dropped at their feet. And that's a big recovery from DSG.
Able to play aggressive and just waiting to hold Markel. Good for one. Snake bite just to buy him a little bit more space. Everyone playing it a little bit more close. Yes, they're at a man disadvantage, but they are with the superior weaponry. A fair bit of damage there, Juicy. Forced to move back. Now question marks all around. RDA has been the one very privy in winning these ecos. Fixie pushing all the way back onto CT side. Wayne, wise to this push. Gets caught out. Really got to give it to Fixie. Why, he's a Star Jewelers player. Young, very quick on their reaction time. C, completely in their jurisdiction. Without Grumble, close enough to hold. That's been a big problem for them. As slowly, the rotation comes through from GSG. Looking to convert this round into a win, perhaps an eco win. Sort of snowball them forward. Mound. Two members there. The spray is a bit much as Juicy tries his best. Unfortunately, whips! And Markel takes 4 to his name. A rough start, but RDA brings it forward. Unfortunately, only 2 guns brought into the next round.
That's a really decent round for DSG there. Getting that first 2 frags on towards B main so early on, dropping the spike, forcing RDA to play a little bit more, carefully, because DSG just cannot be taken lightly no matter what weapon they have in their hand. Styron and Juicy did a good job to start off the round. Unfortunately, Juicy did not end it on the best note. Doesn't matter though. With the amount of damage that they've caused, they've taken up so much of their economy because they have invested now in a Bucky onto Fixie. One little ghost onto Doctor, and the rest have a bunch of SMGs and rifles across. RDA looking to attack C this time, where they've got 2 tripwires to worry about. Grumble hoping to start off once again on this map, and the same note that he ended the previous one. 4 players here from the side of RDA. Nade's thrown down, and that's going to clear out at least one, not the second one. And here they go.
Age up as well. It's a lot of delay tactics used in by Grumble. He's bought so much time. Smoke set up for one way just to really cut off any line of sight onto Mound. Cage still very much up and online. RDA, they're okay to play slow. They're okay for the wait. Wayne, good to find Markel. Styron. Make sure that B is clear. Jansen, not afraid to show up where he is. And now Fixie takes out a lot of damage, goes down to Juicy and Grumble. Sube pops hits.
30 seconds
That's
left.
before he's done so again. And now Styron and Juicy. Nice cross coming in, all the way from CT. Using that utility, just deny space, corral them into a corner. It's all about just making sure they can land their shots. RDA, so excuse me, DSG, they bring the round over. Perhaps this might be the snowball moment they need.
Markel already up with a Viper Spit, by the way. This guy's amazing. He's once again taken matters into his own hands, but he alone, of course, cannot propel his team to that Ascension slot. He needs his team to step up with him, and the Viper Spit is going to help them so much in this round. The force swing on Fixie! He deletes Vera out in the open there, and that's going to force the hand of RDA to actually run into the site quicker than they were expecting it to. And Wayne needs to hold them off for as long as he possibly can.
Fixie, this might be the moment where he feels a little bit more confidence in himself as the pit goes down. The Roomba does find one. Grumble finds Fixie in the end. Juicy's nades clear out the Doctor from that corner. Wayne is okay. It's really good for the challenge onto the pit itself. Grumble pushing out, spots out Sube. Gets so much value from the cam. Jansen coming in from 3. They're playing it very close. Markel good for the punish. It's his world. Can he be flushed out by it? No, he can't. They know he's somewhere in there. Takes some damage, sustains it. Spike has been planted. Jansen goes down, and so does Markel. Wayne completely turning around by instinct. And that is what we call game sense.
Really good stuff there from Wayne. He made sure that he used the sound cues of both of his other teammates to crawl into the Viper Spit and find the perfect timing. Styron from one end, Juicy from the other. But the initial reason why DSG win this was because of Juicy's nade and Wayne staying alive on that site. He was really, keen on probably peeking out towards tree when they were running in when Fixie came in. But he held his ground, made a fake TP sound to try and show that he got away from the site. And even though the Boombot discovered him on the back of site, they didn't really push in because he got the Juicy nade come in from heaven. The minute that dropped down, it took out the planet. The Doctor, unreasonably committing to that plant there. I think that he could have actually waited. He had a lot of time. He had the entire side in his, at least half the side in his control. I feel like he could have waited to take that plant down. Instead, the Doctor died to the nade, and that right there opened the game for them.
I see what you did there. Juicy nade. You think I wouldn't see that, huh, Universe?
The Doctor didn't see it, so...
No, you did not do that. Coming into this one, I think...
I usually thought the Doctor spot out wounds really well, but he didn't see that nade coming at all.
Yeah, now coming into this one, I think it's really good that you have a player like Wayne, like Grumble. You know, I was expecting Juicy to be the unmovable, unstoppable force, but it's actually these two in the past 2 maps. This guy's the head, and I think for them, this is the moment where they really want to be able to seal this map. Look at how much more aggressive they're playing this time around. Vera once again punished for taking the more aggressive stance. They thought they could be able to challenge the gun disparity, but goes down to Juicy. At least his nades find one. Moves out of the way, Wayne. Just shadow steps back onto safety. Micro angles. Checking by Fixie, making sure no one is there. Fixie has been sharp, especially on this map. He wasn't able to really shine in the last one. Wanted to make a bend. Grumble. Good for 2.
There's no way.
Spraying out right as the poison orb goes up. That is disgusting as Wayne. He follows up as well. These 2 players, some of the youngest ones in the team. They really step up.
The only thing that was concerning for me is the fact that RDA had 3 players standing out in the open, right? Grumble just decides to swing out by himself. Wayne is not even looking at that angle. He swings out and he finds two like it's nothing. This guy is running around being invincible right now. And he's got Batman to support him right there across the corner. Double for both of them, as now they're going to look up to try and push up A once again with both their duelists. Out they go, the stun and nade combo, and Juicy up the showstopper, which has been taken up by the Doctor. He surgically removes one after the other, and he's going to force Vera back into his spawn.
Punished! Vera good for one more. Waiting for the plant. Good round. Read so well by RDA. DSG has been doing the same thing over and over. You hear the teleport come through as a clear Vera from his little hidey hole. So low, 24 HP left. Only an op in hand. Markel takes up heaven. Good for two. Yesterday, this was the moment where he's able to go for so many tabs, and he does it again. Call that area Markel's playground if you want to. Strafes all around. Grumble, good to punish. Time running out slowly. Grumble needs to play this isolated place. They know exactly where he is. Crossfires all around, but the Doctor is good to take up that fight. This time around, Doctor, as you mentioned before, surgical, precise. He goes aggressive, and no one expected it.
The showstopper was so close to getting out of the cannon. And just about a second later, the Doctor sweeps out two players and shoots Vera right back into that A site. And there was nothing more than he could do than get one. Once again, DSG trying the same execute. This time, they've got Styron with them. He's going to seize them out towards that A main side. But RDA, not interested. They're going to let them waste up. Yeah, they're going to do it again. They're going to let them, kind of just burn through all of that util. And they're going straight towards C.
They've had the read this time, understanding how many of DSG members want to hold the point of contention. All eyes has been on Rubble. Vera hanging around. This time around, DSG finds themselves in the situation where they are the ones manipulated. They are the ones being forced to rotate. They made a beeline towards C, but that's never really been the point. Not too sure how the decision making is coming through here from RDA. Playing off sound cues, playing off util. Smoke set up onto B. Showstopper gonna be brought outside here by Fixie, finds no one. Doctor goes for the plant. Clears out all the way onto C side, finds nothing. Vera though,
oh my god,
takes quite a bit of damage from that showstopper. Everyone from the RDA playing a little bit more close. Door open, will they check out and see if Sube is around is the question. A lot of pressure comes through. They don't. They were all so distracted by the other member of RDA over on the other side of B main. Juicy alone catches one out. That neural theft gives him a lot of value. Juicy and wait for one more. Juicy gonna go for two. Not happening. Fixie and Wayne one-on-one here on the site with one more member of RDA all alone. But Jansen coming in from the heavens to drop down. RDA managing to chain rounds, and DSG left scratching their heads.
RDA had no right to actually win that round because Juicy got the first entry into the site on the retake, and he did really well. Sube, though, this first, and he almost found a second there. Just a little bit. In slow motion, that sound cue makes it even worse than it actually was, but it's going to be DSG having to concede another one, this time on that B side. Again, they're going to force the issue. They're going to constantly abuse that Rubble and aiming control as much as they can. While RDA are happy to let them have it, they're not going to give them too much resistance on that side. Maybe a little later into the round, as DSG actually just leave Wayne here to hold off A-main by himself, but he might just be in trouble because there's 4 people waiting to actually go out and swing him.
Arch Jensen has been doing the same cam over and over, and DSG, they're very happy to go forward and just go and release that win. He gets one, but at a cost out of his own life. Neural theft used. The entirety of the members of DSG will be found. DSG, quick rotation onto A. Nightfall comes through. Rumble, Decade moves out of the way here. Not scared at all to play with this toxic screen.
Oh, look at Doctor.
Already moved out of the way, all the way onto their side. All the way onto C. Grumble quickly just pop the head of Jansen here, planting out open, which means that it's gonna be a lot of pressure
30 seconds
given
left.
from RDA. One gonna come through from Mound on the side itself. Yes, they do have a lot of members onto DSG. It's about dwindling down the numbers. RDA, their post plants have been quite strong, at least on this map. So base here for the crossfires. They line up for him. Sharp, the previous IGL of Toda. This map now being able to play his own game. He looks different, Grumble. Good to pop one hit. 1-on-2 with only a sheriff. Bit much. Still, does quite a bit of damage onto the members of RDA. Markel once again being the sole reason of win for RDA. Happy to do so.
Yeah, but that was a really expensive round for DSG. They're looking to reinvest into it with a little bit more weaponry, but the problem is that they were in a 3v4. They had advantages to actually win this round out, but the lineup for Sube there kind of basically secured RDA their fifth. And this was an important round in the sense that they're going to have to now go on an eco, which means RDA are going to secure at least 6 going into the second half. And that's not going to be the good side of the round, the good side of the half for DSG, it means. It could make a comeback, obviously. Right from this instance, we've seen so many thrifties across the first 2 maps itself. No reason to see more, no reason to not see more in this third. But for the moment, it's a bit of a spread out, a little bit of a default informational play for RDA here. They've sent out the Trailblazer towards C. That's going to be a bit of a fake setup as Markel walks into the A side and look at the rotation. Oh, I think there's a spot. I think Styron just spotted a bunch of players and he's called Juicy back. And Juicy's probably going to take a peek himself as well. But DSG are ready for this.
Oh, look at that. That peek from Juicy. He just taps. RDA, Doctor and Markel good for 1 each. Pivoting onto a broken door and onto B site. Site full in their jurisdiction. Yes, it's a good call by DSG. They read it like a book, playing a little bit more passive this time. And RDA happy to take up that space. Happy to punish even. Getting 2 for themselves. This time around. Juicy is close. Good onto those headshots. Rumble. Gonna punish Jansen for going a little bit too aggressive on his own. Over in heaven, Pixie takes the space and so does Doctor. Nice cross! 3 rounds in a row from RDA. Exactly as you predicted. Now, Universe, what do you think can these guys do here?
I think the one thing they really need to focus on is trying to shut out these these late lurks towards A main, right? They've allowed RDA keep allowing DSG to take in that early control, which absolutely agreed. But what I think they need to do is right now probably set up that Vera operator, if at all possible. They don't really have the money for it at the moment. But if they can, I think the first thing that they really need is an operator towards that A site. They take control, yes. But the minute it's gone, they're able to, RDA are just able to walk in and find so much more value than DSG get when they first take control themselves. So the one and only thing that they really need right now is to probably set up an operator at some point to, just flush out an entire angle, get the first picks. They need those first picks at the right time.
Jansen, sharp on that Juicy trade. Sube as well. All around, it's just a bloodbath. Sube has been massive. 2Ks, 3Ks. He brings it to the table. DSG once again find themselves at a disadvantage. So quick. RDA plays his attack side. Just now, they weren't able to challenge A. They played passive. They lost. They were playing passive and RDA punishes them. They go aggressive once again, and this time around, they still were able to take a B side hold. Call to save is here. And DSG, they don't have an answer to how RDA starts these rounds.
It's been mostly contact push, honestly. They've been playing so much on contact. It's been working for them perfectly. RDA have gotten DSG's number and they're calling it every single time, whether they go B, they go C, they go A. They're taking initial bit of information. They know that there's going to be an A push. If there's going to be no A push, they start walking towards A. If there's going to be an A push, they let go of it. They walk C and B, and they see what's happening there. Who's there? Who do we have that we can take control of? And then there's a set execute. They know who to send in. They know how to trade. They're doing it really well at the moment. And that's exactly why I feel like they need that operator. DSG need an op, but I think it might just be too late for that, Tash, because we're already at the end of this first half, and DSG need at least one more round to call this a successful half, because on Lotus, if you've got a double duelist, of course you're playing for the attacking side. but you need at least a platform, a base to start on, and 8-4 seems like the bare minimum.
I agree with you there. Change in pace for RDA this time around. They want to go and play passive. Juicy punishes Markel for that. Wanted to play contact. Not too sure why the change in pace. RDA's pacing was working all around. Wondering if they're overkicking this, overreading this. Maybe Markel is
actually...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, forgive me. I just had to make a point. They actually didn't change the pacing. They just realized one thing. It was the fact that A was not being taken control of. They didn't put in the utility, right? So DSG have been throwing in utility every time and they ignore it. The minute that they don't, that's when RDA start walking in towards the A site. And this time around, DSG just walked in themselves, found a good first pick and fell back instantly. But instead, on the B side, there's going to be a trade. 1-for-1 once again. Juicy alone. Showstopper. Oh! Amazing from Juicy. But the trade was instantaneous. They kill each other as there's still a man advantage for DSG in this retake.
The enemy battle we didn't know he wanted. A raise on raise? Incredible. Wayne walking down A main all alone here. Gonna go for those retakes. Gonna isolate these fights, but Sube was ready for them on the A site. Heaven.
What?
So quick. What is going on? Read so well. The doctor's smiling. He's playing 40 chess. Hello?
That was a 2v3, and they were just able to just... Again, Sube gets another double. Another impactful double from this man in a clutch situation. I thought Fixie actually didn't end up getting it, but I just want to have a look at... Oh my god! The last bullet connected to take him out. But that once again, DSG in an advantageous position, give up the shop. They line up, I wouldn't say line up, but more like a spray transfer from Sube to get a double kill once again. And the Doctor, of course, finishes things off. 8-3 at the moment, and Grumble needs a little bit of map control, it seems, and he's walking out all by himself. Grumble, you need to get away from there instantly. The information has been taken. He's seen 3 on spawn, which means DSG don't really need to do anything. It's because RDA are just playing so passive. They're going to waste up utility now, try to clear out the C mount once again.
That's a good thing. It's something that DSG needs. Space. They haven't been able to retain that. This time, Fixie with the showstopper. Just bounce up forwards. Finds no one. Just completely walks to the side itself, but does connect onto Wayne. That is massive without those smokes. Grumble. He's been doing immaculate multi-frags. Hero plays even. He's delivering. 2 already to his name. You see the hunt cleared out. They know there's more people onto C-side. Doctor quickly gonna teleport and use his ultimate onto the other side. Vera gonna go for that trade onto Markel. Vera for 2, Sarah for 1 more. Good round for them going to the half. 4-8. And this is the foundation that you said that DSG needed.
Yeah, DSG needed a minimum of 8-4, and I'm glad they got it. They were able to hold off, but once again, the heroics fall onto the shoulders of Grumble with that first 2K that he found. He's been lifting them on his shoulders and carrying them across this entirety of the grand final so far. And he's still on top of things, 14-10. Last game, 30. This guy is absolutely on top of the world right now.
He's a monster. Oh, man.
Insane.
Absolutely.
Never give in.
Well, they're going to go in for a little bit of a fake onto C, it seems, by Styron with a fake reveal. And he's just going to probably fire a couple of bullets and accompanied by a one-way smoke. But Fixie is not really too phased out by this. A flash to clear out B main just in case. That's actually a good piece of information. And they throw out the smoke as well. They're expecting this to be a B hit, actually. But the tree door has been open, and Fixie's going to be forced away. He does have the patience available, and the trade can be possible in case he needs this type of help. But Grumble, Juicy, 21 entry H.
Just now, Sube was the one who was able to get that value from that corner, but they were ready for him this time. DSG good for 2. Only a one-man disadvantage. Clearing out drop, finds no one here, Jensen. He's been sharp. The banana man that's been able to grab many multi-frags. Clutching, in fact. That may be hard. DSG, they've prepped this post-plant very well. Grumble alone plays that. Jensen still wins it. The strength's a bit much. You can see the reveal come through from that Han. Juicy playing a bit close with his teammates. You can see all of the members of RDA drop one by one, lining down, corralled into a line of fire. And they take the pistol.
That was a really great start. Grumble getting that first and then the second follow-up by Juicy as well. But then this double tap and tap from Juicy. Amazing stuff here. You know, it feels like the Ghost is the most, you know, apt gun for the pew pew pew. I just I don't know, it's in my mind, man. Every time I see the Ghost fire, is that sound cue just keeps playing in my head.
I mean,
It's so weird.
We have seen a moment in EMEA where we saw an ISO with a Vandal and a shield get completely obliterated by a Ghost. So, not surprising that this is happening right now. Regardless, the DSG already on that site. Vera here leading the tip of the spear onto A site. Spots out one. The Spectre are doing the work, moving in tandem with the Prowler itself. Grumble gonna find a lurking Sube as trades happen all around the Doctor. At least finds Vera at the very end. Fixie all alone there. Will be seized. They know that he's there, throwing out that Pain Shell can't go anywhere. Juicy gonna be smiling. As the Doctor all alone once again, quite low. One tap is all Grumble needs to take him down. And RDA this time gonna go into a buy round as DSG looking to try and convert this bonus.
Yeah, they've got decent amount of, you know, of firepower to do it as well. They've got a Vandal, two Bulldogs, a Spectre, and they're probably gonna let Grumble stay on that Ghost because, well, why the hell not? He's been absolutely amazing, even if you give him a knife at this point. So they're just going to have to worry about how this A side is going to be taken control of by Fixie, because you do see that Flash and Nade combo going to be coming in, but it's going to be towards Rubble this time. Going to run in, and it's going to be the teleport in from the Omen. A lot of nades coming in from the other side as well. So much pressure, and RDA just need to get out of dodge there because there's not any form of control that they can establish here on towards A main.
DSG this time asserts dominance onto Rubble. Attack has been the name of their game. They look completely dominant on this side. Smokes all around. RDA says, okay, play a bit more passive. We cannot win this fight. Can see some chip damage all around onto Wayne, onto Vera, Sube as well. So the members of RDA didn't come out unscathed. The Doctor, gonna try and read this out, putting some smokes onto B site. Door open. Sube is the one gonna be tapped here. Vera, very sharp with that Bulldog.
Indeed. That initial denial of that A main and Rubble control is absolutely amazing. DSG, they knew they had trouble, but they instantly were able to turn it back around. Trade for trade here, but look at Grumble. He's crawled into the site and he's got no idea somebody's behind him on site, and he crosses both of them. They need to be worried about the Viper here. Markel, he's sitting straight dead center.
They know he's there. They have an idea. This is due diligence. Grumble comes out in the back because they miss each other. Jensen goes for a tap. Only good for one. Vera with a Bulldog. Making it work just as much as a Vandal would. Fixie this time. The call to save needs so much to bring this weapon to the next round. This is a really good round by DSG. Get some upgrades as well here too. And the catch-up game looks really good for DSG. No issues at all. As RDA, whatever big rounds, big gap they've made forward ahead of DSG, slowly dwindling.
This was the best case scenario for this team. DSG, this is a monumental attack side of round bonus that they've, you know, kind of just clinched up and taken home now, because having that little bit of A main control denied from RDA, because they were really close to having it. The flash was really good. The nade was on point. But the problem was that they didn't expect the nade to fly in towards their direction along with a stun and a flash and a seize. They were denied that Rubble control, and I think that's what won them the round, because they were able to keep the pressure onto RDA to constantly keep their eyes fixed on that A side. Hence, the crawl in from Grumble came into the C side, because they had to give out a little bit of firepower from that C side in terms of men to push it towards B, so that the one player on B could move in towards A, because there was so much, you know, pressure Amazing stuff from DSG, especially to set up Grumble, as once again, it proves to be their round for the win.
Only a hero rifle in Pixie's hands. Now, still the passive game for RDA. They've understanding that whenever they go aggressive, they're not winning. These duels, these gunfights, these skirmishes. They gambled onto C-site. 4 on there. Door opened. Jansen all alone on the A site. Can't play off his utilities, his trips.
I'm out of here.
He's adept on those taps. Clears out the corners with the Prowler. Vera rushing onto the site. So much space taken. Has some sort of idea where Jansen is going to be. Taking up Heaven. Knows that drop has been cleared. Very, very close here. One-way smoke could give him a lot of value. Knock angle that he's been playing with. Gonna be using and clearing out. They know where everyone is now because of the Trailblazer. Vera good for 1. Can he go for more? Sube sustaining quite a lot of damage here. This time around, Vera once more. Juicy is there to follow up for that. And they line up for him almost like deja vu. Yesterday, Markel does it. This time it's gonna be Juicy. Markel alone taking quite a bit of damage. The wall bangs through. And all Wayne had to do was wait for Markel to push out of stairs. The round is theirs, the equalizer. DSG managed to come back.
Nothing separating these two teams now. What seemed like a one-sided affair on the defense for DSG, where they were not able to take control whatsoever. Their attack side has flown in with just as much of an opposite effect. This is for the absolute terror of RDA as they watch themselves crumble to the pressure of DSG's reign, who might just go unbeaten. Oh my god, Markel, so lucky to be alive.
By the skin of his teeth!
Yeah, 2 HP, that man, he's gonna be praying to the gods above. Thank you so much for keeping me alive, because he losing his life. Yeah, okay, never mind. He's gonna be back up to 100, but Sube, that's gonna be the regrowth completely, gone from this side for this round. At least so early on, he could have used it for a better situation to retake at least. But on the back of that shot, an A hit coming in as they've gotten control of Rubble and Main already, and RDA playing a really passive game here.
In Ascent, Vera popping heads with the Marshall. Icebox. Aggressive play on him with the Jet and the Op, and this time around, another agent. He makes these sniper guns work. Waiting for it to top. Excuse me, not happening quite yet. Checks all around. He moves in tandem with his teammates. The showstopper, not utilized quite yet. Gonna be used to take up some space all the way on the other side. RDA waiting for that pop. For good measure, throwing in that pain shell. Arumba as well. Not getting that on top regardless. So this time around, Pixie will be the one that tries to pull through, but let's see, won't find him in the end. Vera finally finding one here. It'll be Jansen that sees the tail end of his op. Waiting for one more as well. The overdrive is gonna be coming online. Did they know there's someone playing here very close? They know Sube is here now. The sprays are immaculate from Sube, but it's not enough to win him the round as DSG. They finally take the lead.
9-8, and DSG have made the comeback happen by winning 6 in a row, including the previous half's last round. And Rev Drift Arena forced to take a really nervous timeout here. DSG are 4 rounds away from being crowned as Malaysia Singapore's champions. And this timeout is the only thing separating RDA's comeback. Because if it's not successful, Tash, this could be the end of the game, the end of the line, the end of the road that they started themselves on.
This is a very, very high pressure moment for RDA. The first time in 3 years a Malaysian roster is able to make it to grand finals. The second shot, the doctor has made it here. They weren't able to do it before. He wasn't able to make it to grand finals before. And he doesn't want for that to happen again. Doctor has played in so many different regions, looking for the same success. They have to make it happen. This time around, Not too sure what changes that RDA has done. But for the fans of MY of Malaysia, this is the moment they've been waiting for. And RDA has done it before, these high pressure moments, a comeback even.
Here.
Once again, that A side being poked around by the attack. And it's going to be Grumble holding on with the operator this time, expecting a bit of an eco push towards B. That's actually a good decision from DSG as well, to make sure that they let Vera move in. But he's actually been more impactful on the attack with the operator than he's been on the defense with the rifle. It's actually so ironic. Opens the door for a tree, kind of gives out a bit of a bait of information, making RDA feel a little bit more nervous about this site. Now they're going to focus on trying clearing that together, but DSG not too keen on just going in yet. They're going to re-hit this. Wayne, oh my god, he eats a bullet but nothing more. Sube, he's been notorious with his double kills so far, but it seems like he's not going to get one through that wall there. And RDA actually call off this A hit. They're going to play really passive, leaving the one and only Sube on site. A smoke comes down to help him out for a bit, but this is going to be really difficult to hold on.
30 seconds left.
This is the side special manipulating the rotations. Vera good for one, Sube answers. Wayne throws out the paranoia, Juicy follows up. Let's take away Sube. His reign of 2K is ending, at least for this round. Wayne putting out that smoke. And quickly, but surely gonna play with that shorty. The doctor could not reposition. Styron here, spotting the head of Jansen, wants to go for that pickoff. Not able to quite yet. Chip damage onto him. The only pistols in hand, Jansen and Markel. Markel able to duel for
Last
2Ks,
player
3Ks,
standing.
even Styron. Not allowing that to happen. Jansen here. Wanna see him be able to come back on top. The Haunt gonna be denied. They know exactly where he is. Take a lot of damage. Just a distraction, the teamwork from DSG a bit much for the members of RDA to handle. Too split apart, too much happening for them to respond.
It's quite amazing how much a little bit of silence can do in this game of Valorant, right? Because DSG didn't really do anything on any part of the map at all. They gave a little bit of a hint towards A, but the other two sites were completely quiet. But still, RDA overthinking themselves. The silence was killing them because they had no information apart from the fact that the tree door was rotating, and they kind of tripped over their own feet. Playing this amazingly, DSG. Like you said, manipulating rotations, but with just doing nothing. It's amazing how much value they're getting out of it. And now Grumble might get one. He spots one, but no, Fixie's better with it. Gets the first pick in a long time here as DSG finally lose a man early on into the round.
But it was a B hit all along. Look how fast they take up this space. Juicy and Vera, one each. Jansen for 2-3. He comes online. The Banana Man back online here. Aggressive multi-frags. Perhaps this is what RDA needs to play a game of catch-up.
DSG kind of read into that a little differently, but RDA had the perfect assumption about where this attack's going to be coming in. They set up for it absolutely almost, dead right. They had 3 players on the side. They had the operator taken out towards A main. They knew that there was no attention paid by DSG towards A main, which means this had to be a B or C hit. And now they're going towards C once again. The op back on Vera's shoulders. And he's going to hold on for a bit of aggression that's been shown so far by RDA. They've left A on the shoulders of just the doctor. And he's sitting in quite a bit of a one-and-done angle. If he's not going to get out of here quickly enough,
You know where he is.
will be taken out without any kills whatsoever.
Vera as well, getting a pick of his own onto Fixie. Fixie tries to make something happen all alone. Punished for it. Neural theft coming online.
What a time.
So this is looking terrible for RDA. Positions compromised. Firepower dwindled. Yes, you can rely on Jansen for those multi-frags.
Planted.
Bit late in the previous round, but to expect to do it again? And DSG is one of those teams that are just so good and really be able to play these post plants. Vera good for 1.
Last player
Playing close, Vera for 3. In fact, as Wayne cleans up the rest of the members of RDA. A big round from RDA, but DSG, every single round they lose They readapt, they learn. Leaves RDA questioning, wondering, how are they gonna bring it back? Once they think they have, DSG changes it up.
Really good stuff here. Once again, that operator from Vera doing so well. They made sure that he didn't really go aggressive on that seaside mound region, which was kind of itchy. For a second, I feel like Vera really was confident about the fact that he could actually go in. But this man right here, keeping his team alive with an attacking operator on a Neon of all agents as well. Not something you see as usual. And here comes RDA trying to take matters into their hands. They know that they need control, and they establish it with the showstopper towards the seaside.
Oh, Vera!
Forced him away.
Oh!
He's ready for everything.
That aggression was just so good, playing off the sound of that showstopper. He waits, and immediately as they push, he gets two, rushes straight toward A side, understanding that the members of RDA are not quite there. They've been playing this so reactively. This is something that we said RDA is adept at doing, but on attack they look good. Vera takes up so much space. Just hold his holds, punishing any member of RDA crossing. Sube, at the very least, he gets an upgrade. It just sounds of footsteps all around. It's hard to really pinpoint where everyone is. Juicy is close. They hear the sounds of the rope as well. As Vera, with the overdrive, gets 3, in fact. DSG hitting that point in RDA. This is the high-pressure moment they need. The do-or-die moment. The moment where the doctor wants to be able to finally make it out at the end of this grand finals. But for DSG, they look good, they feel good. RDA looks so rough for them.
One last round to go here. It all comes down to this. The doctors pulled out the Odin and they've stacked up on A with 4 players. And with a little bit of initial contact with information of utility, nothing more given away. Once again, DSG playing this meticulously. If they give them the warning sign of them being on rubble, but that's it. And it's only Fixie here who will be set up for a bit of a bait. Do they check him? Spam goes through. Juicy picks up the orb and the showstopper's activated. They've got a flash. I think they're going to be doing a setup play here. A double flash comes in.
Here comes
Showstopper goes
Down A.
Wayne and Juicy! 1 each. Goes for Trey, Wayne for 2. He's been amazing, impeccable with these multi-frags. And now it's down onto Jensen's shoulders. A 1-on-4. Almost impossible to ask. Juicy is here. He cleans it up. A very decisive win for DSG. Split 1 wasn't for them, but split 2 with this roster change looks so good. And it's just tears and sadness all around for RDA. It's the first time a Malaysian team makes it to the grand finals, but DSG crushes the hopes and dreams for all the members here in the grand finals of the VALORANT Challengers of MYSG.
Wow, that was quite the climax. Once again, DSG showing why they came into this with the upper bracket run, the way that they played, and a finish, a dream that has been rekindled from North America to APAC. Toast will be really happy with this, of course, and a 3-0 win at that. Yeah, whatever it is, he's got reasons to celebrate. A dream that's been put back on fire, put back on the stove, and it's been brought to life by these 5 players. What a game from these 5 players of DSG. They've gone all the way to take it 3-0, and a performance worthy to be sending them to Japan. Ascension 2024, here they come. Your VALORANT MYSG representatives are this guys, and honestly, they have shown why they deserve to be there.
This guys looked very, very shaky in split 1. A lot of question marks coming through. They go through a massive roster reshuffle, picking out, scouting out every single player in MYSG that looks strong, putting the puzzle pieces together to see where they need to fit to fill in the gaps, changing up their duelists, changing up their IGL. Looked strong in the beginning of the split once again against Elevate, but every single round they lost is a lesson to them. And they look stronger and stronger with every round they played, and this was the same tale told, especially onto Lotus, the final map, to really solidify their lead for 3-0.
They were so confident in the fact that they could make it work on the attacking half. They were losing rounds on the defense like it was nothing. So many times, they lost with man advantages, a 2v3, a 3v4. They had opportunities to actually get so many more rounds on the defense, but DSG were just getting outplayed. And RDA were so comfortable in letting opportunities slip by because they knew that they had no problem playing on the defense, but the attack is going to be scary. Coming into it, DSG, the pistol was so much, of an important matter for them, and they really needed it. And once they won that pistol with the, with the rigor and the aggression that they showed, the double duelist playing off the way it did, they realized that, we don't need aggression anymore. We just need control. And that operator on Vera, the number of times it's found a value on C, on A, the amount of control that's been established by Grumble, too good. DSG are amazingly going through it with a flawless 3-0 win.
Would have thought that it was going to be a really, really close game. Especially as RDA is a team that thrives on these high pressure moments, but perhaps the pressure really got to them in the end. They had no answer to how they want to play this, especially on the second half. When you see that for DSG, it was all about playing nothing, taking the style of play that RDA played against them and using it against them. Basically a taste of their own medicine, if anything. Just manipulating those rotations, forcing out not even really big fakes that they did on Icebox. It looked so clean. And it felt like as though, as the closer the finishing lines were, the better it was that they played. Regardless, we are going to be having a chat with our champions of DSG very, very soon. But before that, the post-match stats here. 13-9, not the score I was expected to see. I was expecting to see an overtime, honestly.
Yeah, well, overtimes have been RDA's song to sing, but not today. DSG came in with a guitar and they took over the entire concert here. It's been their name roaring across every single map, and they head on further to Ascension on the back of a really solid win. And for a team that honestly has got such good aggressive power, relies so well on silence and on discipline. You see that sometimes, yes, they do overcommit. Yeah, there are sometimes overheating. Vera sometimes doesn't click as, well as you would hope him. But the way these guys are able to understand the opponent, realize where they need to put pressure, where they don't, how they need to create sound cues to mock the attacks that are coming in, and at the end, solidify the final push. DSG have shown why they're among the best teams in the entire of the Pacific Tier 2.
But big props to RDA. We've seen them very tenacious, with the nothing to lose attitude. First time a team in MYS in Malaysia has made it here to the grand finals once again.
Yeah.
It's just so heartbreaking for the fans here. But you could really tell everyone that Singapore is not the only country in the MYSG region that has talent. Malaysia too has a lot of upcoming strong young talent like Fixie as well. But coming into these post-match stats, Juicy has been set up very, very well by his teammates, with Vera taking the lead, the tip of the spear, taking up space, becoming the distraction, just allowing Juicy to just take up space in the back foot. He's been able to go for those op shots alongside Vera. They just swap around with that. His pain shells have been immaculate, playing so closely with Siren. If anything, DSG looked more of a team than RDA today. Every single util, every single initiation closely followed up by the members of DSG. When push comes to shove, you have the multi-frag potential coming in from Grumble and Wayne. Styron, as the IGL, did not have a need to really step up into the role where he is forced to really frag out compared to the Doctor. And Juicy looking good here. 25 in the bag, and throughout the entirety of the day, over 25 kills throughout by the members of DSG.
Yeah, 25 for him here. First map as well, he was the MVP. Second map, Grumble took over with that amazing 30 frag, performance on Icebox. DSG, it never looked like they were out of control of any game at all. every single time. They lost a couple of rounds. They were able to make it back. They were able to turn things around. They had everybody step up to the plate. Nobody was left behind. Styron did so well in the first two maps, first and second. Third map, he let his team take the reins. He told, I'll guide you all. You got this. Take all the frags you need. And of course, Juicy, he's not gonna give up on that opportunity, right? He's been that, you know, prospect that everybody's looked at, especially from last season itself. When he was on Bleed, he was seen as, you know, one of the best duelists coming in. And unfortunately, while he couldn't play in that tier 1, you know, team at back then for Bleed, he's got another opportunity now because Ascension, he's made a second appearance, and this time it doesn't look like he's gonna slow down at all. It seems like he might just do it all again.
He looks to. Wasn't able to follow his team all the way to tier 1 Bleed. His teammates are all the way up there. Neff all the way to champions in China, even under Bilibili. So for him, making it here with another team, this might be a dream come true for him. But for now, we do have an interview coming up here with our champions. This guy's coming up on top. Let's see who is on the line, and it is going to be... Hello, hello, hello! It's Juicy again. Nice to see you here as the champions again. So let's talk a little bit. Before anything, how are you feeling making your second appearance to Ascension?
I'm feeling very, very happy and very, very grateful for my team. Especially right now, I think some of my teammates are crying.
Aww. Yeah, I think this is a very big opportunity, especially from Styron. I think you remember Egoist had really made the call to really give him a chance, and I'm glad DSG did. So walk me a little bit on the roster restructure. What happened there, and how did you guys pick up your new members?
I think what happened was last split, we just really weren't working well as a team. So we had to make changes if we wanted to go to Ascension. So we just got more firepower, double duelist, Grumble, most insane with his aim, Vera, insane duelist. We can run double duelist on every map. And then Wayne is just his Thanos. And then Tidus is for his IGL.
Right.
He's the best IGL in MYSG.
Right, I'm glad to hear that. Now, any questions from you, Universe?
Yeah, I just wanted to know one thing. You know, how do you guys, you know, prepare for these kind of, you know, double duelist plays? Because you know that the other team usually comes in with single duelist. Did you guys know from the first get-go itself that you wanted to, you know, play double duelist on every map, or was there like a different setup before you decided for this format?
I think with the players that we have right now, we need to do the double duelist on every map because it's just our strength. So double duelist was our option from the start as soon as we remade the roster. And I guess teams can't stop it.
Love hearing that.
It's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that, you know, you guys have that strength. But there is one particular thing I want to ask you about one certain map. You know, Icebox coming in to this series, a lot of people knew that, you know, RDA had a better, you know, history with Icebox. They just won it yesterday, I guess, Elevate in the lower final. Did you guys have some, you know, preparation or homework? Because you guys didn't really have the best time on Icebox while you guys were playing in this split.
I think the Icebox was just like a mental block from us because we weren't playing well as a team and we weren't even like playing to 100%. And I also didn't really feel very comfortable on the ISO. That's why today we switched to Reina, and
yeah, I think
Reina is our agent.
Yeah, it really showed. I'm really loving to hear that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's next now. Ascension is coming, and I'm sure that you guys have eyes on the prize to make it to as the third MYSG team onto VCT Pacific. Now, I think you've heard the rumors about Full Sense being one of the most terrifying teams you guys have to go head up against. So what's your game plan here?
Full Sense?
Yeah, from Thailand.
I think it doesn't matter who we play, we just win.
Oh, we just win. Okay, that's confidence. I love hearing that. Now, final question from me. Of course, you know, I think I've heard a lot about the pressure coming in, especially being picked up by this guy, such a big org from North America. And with that org as well comes many, many fans. So with this win today, I'm sure you guys felt the pressure. You guys changed. I'm sure there were a lot of threats coming in from Toast himself. Sorry to get you in trouble for that. So how do you handle the pressure? And what is your prize? Or how are you guys celebrating after tonight?
I think how we handle the pressure is just that we take every game as a scrim, and
As a
we
scrim?
don't as a scrim, and we don't watch like the total stream during the game.
Okay.
And then
Man.
for celebrations, I think we'll be going out as a team sometime soon, maybe
Right, really
after
excited to hear
Vera
that.
finishes his school.
All right. I'm really excited. Now, the question now is, after this, you guys are going to Ascension once again. Do you guys have anything you want to say to your fans, the people who put the pressure on you, who throw you guys hate, and also your supporters?
Thank you to everyone who has supported us all the way, and we hope we give you a good show in Tokyo.
There we go. Thank you so much, Juicy. Good luck in Ascension. We hope to see you
Thank
again soon.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. You're really expecting him to say, take every game as a scrim. What do you think, Universe?
It's not a bad, way to look at things, especially because, that kind of takes off the pressure. And also about the fact that, these guys are in their homes. So it's kind of easier to kind of, slip into that, let's play this like a scrim. Let's play this like a rank or whatever it is,
Yeah.
kind of get into that zone. So it does help them. But I think Juicy is going to be really, really, grateful for a second opportunity here to go back to Ascension. This time, maybe, butt heads at the same range that he did last season, walk up to tier 1 and say, yo, Bleed, I'm here, but from the other side. Unfortunately, last time.
Yeah, that will be pretty exciting looking at that. And that is the end of our tournament tonight. But let's have a look at the brackets once again, just to give a little bit of idea of how this tournament has gone. Now, coming in for Disguise, they came in from the upper brackets when they went up into going against Elevate, where they finally were able to overcome this team. The first time was not a win from them. In fact, it was a very harsh loss where they really repositioned themselves, reframed their thoughts, and bringing themselves all the way to grand finals, almost not dropping a single match. Now, coming from the lower side here, RDA, I think we had a conversation, right, Universe, about what the lower bracket brings and if it does bring the momentum over to the grand finals. Unfortunately, it does not for RDA.
Yeah, I think they really did a great job, RDA. Kudos to them to make it the way that they did, all the way from promotion relegation to coming to the playoffs, playing against Elevate in the first round, first match, and then going back down to the lower bracket, beating everybody along the way, including Elevate, the people who sent them here. And in the end, they just couldn't hack it against the might of DSG. Absolutely insane stuff, as they're going to be really, I know it's an unfortunate thing. I know there's going to be tears across everybody's faces. I know that this is not an easy, loss to handle, especially when you've worked and come from such a long journey. At the last stage, to lose it, it does give you a lot of, moments to think that, what, this is just over. But I really hope these players don't give up. I really hope they come back, because they are going to be playing a lot more Valorant across the year, later on at least, and they're going to be coming back hopefully for the next season and try once again to make it to tier 1, because these players are amazing. They've shown that they're some of the best in this region, and I'm just hoping that we can see a lot more of Malaysian talent coming up in the next couple of months and the next season as well.
Really hoping to see that as well. Regardless, this will be the end. This is the final ever Valorant Challengers MYSG before it will be rebranded as Valorant Challengers Southeast Asia next year. Very bittersweet moment here on the broadcast for us. I mean, coming into this, I'm so thankful I'm being able to cast with my best friend, Universe, for the first time ever.
Me too, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming here all the way from South Asia onto this broadcast. Now, this broadcast is brought to you by Riot Games, sponsored by Creative Labs. Wouldn't be able to make it here without these guys, and powered by the gaming company. After this, our next stop will be Champions before finally going to Ascension all the way in Tokyo. We already have our teams. We already have some of our representatives. The question now is, which region will be the strongest to go head-to-head and ascend into Pacific? I'm really excited to see that. I hope you guys are too. And for now, this is Tashman in Universe. We're going to be ending the night here. Good night, and we'll see you guys next season in Challengers Southeast Asia. Bye, everyone.
They manage to swing out. He has to flick so back hard, and he does. He
my God.
shows up, goes out, and he gets the third as well. He's completely blind. It goes all the way in elbow, but there goes his wingman, and there goes himself as well.
Like sharks in the water, they're circling around this B side.
Oh my God, Wayne! Slowly walk down from market. There's the first, and the second is good. Now just Iron left. 1v4 scenario. He's being surrounded. Second kill is there. He has to find the third. Styron, he's already on 4. This would have to be the ace clutch for it. He goes for it. It's Styron. There's Vera up top on Heaven. Manages to reposition as well. Finds the flick with the Shiva. Knives are out. He goes for more kills. Finds Persona. And he shuts down Price. Suna, they are slowly encompassing the entirety of the space here. There's a little bit of a flank coming in from Grumble. Oh my God, the third flank is so good. Yes, up.
Wait.
Use, but it's not gonna happen.
Slowly waiting for a reaction here. Spamming out how getting poised and somehow finding a depth with
No
the
way.
machine gun in hand, and Wayne
Just has to be careful. He's playing into the range. Goes for the flank shot. There's the double headshot as well.
Vera is going to get the better of him, and Wayne from this top angle left unchecked here is going to be spraying all the players down who are just bubbling into his crosshair.
What is that?
This race is gonna be popped out as well as the rest of the teammates just moving their way in. Oh, Smokes though, it's gonna block so much vision.
This is surely an impossible task. They're just sticking the spike face off so many players. 3v4, their position's known. Lenny with a stand kill. Vera around the corner. Grumble, what can you muster together with Styron? First one's found, second and the third, they just fall like flies.
Takes away some of the abilities of Vera with the showstopper. Doesn't quite connect onto them, but Styron and Vera
execute again towards this A site, but they've tried it time and time again and they lost it. The tripwire is perfectly done.
And now they're fighting for their lives up in main. Vera's running so much juicy with the blitz and with the spam.
Even if Elevate win these last 2 rounds, which I think is a necessity, it's still going to be hard for them. What a shot coming in from Vera.
Isolating one area, Vera goes down. Vera gets 2 in fact. Playing so closely at the end of those smokes. Juicy good for 1, and Wayne just gonna completely spray inside the choke. Juicy as well as Vera are here. Places off angle. Doctor does not know that Wayne is there. What is going on? Wayne was 4. So blitzerating the Doctor's hit. He goes for 2, 3. Grumble! The player unjust, the sheriff. 4 to his name, and Thrifty once again. It seems like PSG has done their due diligence and on this pistol. He has space on the yellow. Good for 3. Fix the other side itself. He's go 4. Spike is planted. Jensen goes down and so does Markel. Wayne. This time around, Vera once more. Juicy is there to follow up for that. And they line up for him almost like deja vu.
Got a flash. I think they're going to be doing a setup play here. A double flash comes in.
Here comes Showstopper. And now it's down onto Jensen's shoulders. A 1-on-4. Almost impossible to ask. Juicy is here. He cleans it up. A very decisive win for DSG. Split 1 wasn't for them. But split 2 with this roster change looks so good.
Last player stand by. One enemy remains.
Last player. One enemy remains.